suggested the ANC could face its end if support continues to decline at the polls. Lindsay Dentlinka reports.
As tensions swelled between legacy foundations and the presidency last week over the haste to convene the National Convention, ANC MP Malusi Gigaba said he thought the dialogue should be delayed to avoid it becoming another talk shop. Meanwhile, speaking at a tombstone unveiling in KwaZulu-Natal over the weekend, suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu suggests that the ANC is on the brink of collapse and that the next elections could spell its death knell. The ANC has taken a dim view of these comments, saying the pair acted outside of any sanctioned organizational mandate in making these remarks. Spokesperson Bongani Bingwa says the remarks also do not reflect the views of any legitimate structure of the party and are seen as an opportunistic assault on its image and credibility. The party says it will take steps to stop members from making statements that undermine its established protocols and internal cohesion. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
Political parties remain deadlocked over the terms of reference in Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating police corruption, with disagreements over the use of external legal counsel. Members have also clashed over the widening of the scope of the committee's investigation to include questioning labour unions in the police and amending its terms of reference. Parties represented in the committee debated submissions made by members on what should be included in the final terms of reference yesterday. Babalondenze reports.
The ad hoc committee met yesterday to continue deliberations on the terms of reference that will guide the committee's inquiry. But parties disagreed on several issues, including on the use of external counsel. ANC MP Xola Nqola says the committee should make use of Parliament's own legal advisors to save costs.
We must not utilize the services of external legal practitioners, but rather utilize the services of the parliamentary legal and constitutional services.
But the MK party's Sibonelo Nomvalo says they don't have faith in Parliament's legal advisors.
The internal legal team has demonstrated on numerous occasions that they lack capacity to a certain extent.
Parties will first have to find consensus on the terms of reference before they can proceed with the inquiry. Babalondenze, Eyewitness News.
And Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's willing to meet directly with his foe, Russian leader Vladimir Putin, to end the invasion of his country. Zelensky met with US President Donald Trump yesterday, who increasingly pushed the Ukrainian leader to make concessions to Russia. Trump even complimented Zelensky on his black jacket after the Ukrainian was criticized because he failed to change his trademark war leader's outfit for a suit during his visit earlier this year. The 3-year war between Ukraine and Russia has ground to a virtual stalemate despite a few recent Russian advances. Trump's summit with Putin last Friday failed to produce any ceasefire. Meanwhile, Zelensky says his second meeting with Trump was the best yet.
I think that we had very good conversation with President Trump.
Very good.
And it really was the best one. Maybe the best one will be in the future. But it was really good. And we spoke about very sensitive points. The first one is security guarantees, and we are very happy with President that all the leaders are here.
Gold is trading at $3,334.35 an ounce. The rand is at 17.65 to the dollar, 23.83 to the pound, 20.57 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.32 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident in Meyerton. This is along the R59 North. It happened right near Heidelberg Road. It is causing heavy delays already. So if you're heading towards Alberton, please find alternative routes. While traveling on the Marquand North, we've got peak time delays already between Boysons Road and the Crown Interchange.
And in your sport, the Proteas will begin their ODI series against Australia this morning. Kagiso Rabada missing out due to inflammation of his right ankle. Makazole Mampimpi has been drafted into the Springbok squad as the world champs release captain Siya Kolisi and wing Kurtley Ardens after their injuries. No quarterfinal for South Africa at the African Nations Championship, and former Pirates Tendai Ndoro passes away at the age of 40.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng, Johannesburg and Pretoria, both at 9 and 23 degrees. Vereeniging 11 and 24. The top story in EWN this hour: e-hailing drivers and taxis will be allowed to continue operating at Maponya Mall in Soweto.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Let's celebrate excellence, one vote at a time. Go to primediaplus.com now to vote for the finalist that makes Gauteng feel like home.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes after 6 o'clock, you're listening to 702 Breakfast on this Tuesday, the 19th of August, the year of our Lord 2025. It's all happening, is it not? Listen to these words. I think we're too preoccupied with our little corners, our little groupings, says the former minister Malusi Gigaba. There doesn't seem to exist the possibility for us to get up briefly from these little groupings so that we can now discuss what is in the best interest of our country, of our movement and our people, so that we achieve a post-colonial society. And until we're ready to do that, I think we're failing in our duty. The disgraced police minister Senzo Mkhunu says if we don't win municipalities in the upcoming local government elections next year, come the national government elections, we will be history. What does the ANC do? Did it listen to them? No, it's gagged them. That's the choice before the party. Gag or listen. It appears they're actually choking on these words, are they not? Shoot the messenger? You could argue that it's rich coming from Malusi Gigaba and Senzo Mkhunu for that matter, but we all know it. What they're saying is obvious, plain for all of us to see. We're keeping an eye on what's happening in Maponya Mall. Once again, public transport allowed to go back into that mall? At what cost?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Welcome to the show. On our menu today, we start with the meat industry. Foot and mouth disease, experts say, is now it's out of control, actually. They're saying it's a crisis and it's one that needs to be managed. And we'll talk about why that matters to you and how it will impact you, because it means there will be shortages and it means the price of beef in particular is about to go up. And it may also mean that some of us are going to have to make different choices about what we put on our plates at our tables. Is there a meat you don't eat, or perhaps one you no longer eat? You used to, but you just don't any longer. I have a friend who is of Jewish descent, but he's not practicing, in terms of the religion. But he doesn't eat shellfish. He doesn't eat pork, and not that because he's a believer. He says it was just so ingrained in him in terms of how dirty these things were and how unclean they were. He just won't eat them. No matter how you prepare them, it could be Michelin star. He's not interested because the grills of creepies, in the sea, shellfish, are still in his mind. Is there a meat you won't eat? These are the conversations we're going to start having soon. Amoramila, good morning.
Good morning, Bongs. Morning, 702 lenders. Definitely livers for me are not, I cannot.
Chicken or just any livers?
Any livers. The texture for me is I don't know how to explain it. It's just not nice. The taste, At
the next brunch I host, I'm going to invite you. And you're going to enjoy my chicken liver pate. You won't even know it is chicken livers.
Yeah, just don't tell her. What if she reacts to it?
I'm not allergic. That's the nice thing about it, is that I'm not allergic. I just don't prefer it.
I'm going to make you my chicken liver pate. You will change your mind about chicken livers. Muteo Khwaripe, good morning.
Good morning. I had ostrich steaks the other day.
Yes.
After you said I must try them.
Yes.
Very, very good. Nice and lean.
Who made them?
I can get used to them.
Who made them?
My wife made.
Okay. Were they nice and tender?
They were nice and tender.
Yeah.
No, she heard the entire.
She heard the whole thing.
Like, I'm really, really interested. I want to try these. I'm like, okay.
Okay, and
not bad at all. Not bad at all.
They are really quite delish. I'm having book club this week, and one of the things on the menu is ostrich steaks. I'm going to spread the word far and wide because the price of beef, my friends, is about to go up.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
All right, we're also talking to the e-hailing Drivers Association. There's a thing called the E-Hailing Partners Council. We'll speak to their Secretary General, who's going to talk to us about the conditions their drivers are facing. And then just before 9 o'clock, we'll talk to Lira, who is an absolutely fantastic human being. Never mind the great artist she is. She'll tell us about how she's going to be part of lighting up the DSTV Delicious Festival stage later this year.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
So here's our shout out, and what we do with our shout out every morning is we ask you a question based on something that's in the news. It really is an illustrator, if you will. And I want to know what words are commonly used in South Africa in our everyday speak. You kind of get familiar with a lot of these things on social media, for example, that you think could be included in the dictionary. These are words, in other words, that are here to stay. And I'll give you some examples. The word blesser, I think we all now know what that means in South Africa. I don't know if it's something that's used elsewhere in the world, but we all understand what we mean when we call somebody a blesser, right? That's a word that doesn't seem to be going away. This is, of course, somebody who spoils a partner financially, if I'm putting it generously, right? Somebody who's able to sponsor their partner financially and spoil their partner is called a blesser. And of course, not everybody who does this thinks they are a blesser, but they are. What other words? Shisanyama, for a barbecue or a braai. Dinsang, Skipan. What's going on? That's what those words mean, right? What words have you heard of late that you think should be? I mean, including in the dictionary is really a way to say these are words that are here to stay. So I'm focusing much more on that than that it should be in the Cambridge or Oxford. Don't focus on the dictionary. It's just an example to get to the point. Amo?
You just mentioned one now as we're talking about food. You said delish.
Yes.
I think it should be there along with delulu. Young people like saying...
What is delulu?
Delulu. Like
Delusional.
Mm.
It was so cute. Africa Melane thinks that when young people say they are hanging, it means they're hanging in there. He says no. I mean, it could also mean hungover.
Technically, he's right.
No.
On that day, they're hanging in there.
No, it means hungover. It means they're hanging in there. But he's not the right person to ask those things. He's prim and proper and loves the language as he should. Give us a WhatsApp voice note on 072-702-1702. We'll take your calls on 011-883-0702.
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
I want you to have a listen to a clip from Newsroom Africa. Their senior anchor, Xoli Mngambi, speaks to the chairperson of the South African National Taxi Association in Mpumalanga, Fanyana Sibanyoni, to address a concern raised by South Africans really around the country. This idea that private car owners are now being forcibly stopped by taxi operators from having passengers in their car because the taxis believe those are commuters who should be paying them to get from A to Z and shouldn't be getting that ride for free in your car. It really is an extraordinary thing to even be discussing, but have a listen.
Here's a direct question. Are people who own cars allowed to give hitchhikers a lift?
No, they are not allowed. It's our business. They are infringing our rights because we are taxi operators with permit to load passengers. But people cannot just pick up people because they're not taxis.
If it's a family member, if it is my family member that I'm giving a lift to work.
How do you see your family member on the street?
So I'm supposed to confirm to you that this is my family member and somehow
as I was saying, every company's got securities. If you see there's a family member is hiking there and you see there's a patrol car, just stop your car, go to the security guy and explain to them to say, this is my family member, please allow me to pick that person. I don't think they'll give you a problem.
It's a country of laws, Mr. Sibanyoni. I do not have to explain myself to a security guard who is driving in a vehicle. For all I know, this could be a criminal. Why must I stop and explain myself to some person as to why I have a passenger in my car?
Yes, it's a country of law, but that country of law, it doesn't say you must violate other people's rights.
Right? This is the thinking we are dealing with when it comes to the taxi associations. And I've long been saying we keep ignoring this problem and it's not going to go away.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
702 weekday mornings, 6 to 9
17 after 6. Mateo Khoripa, you've got a question of your own?
Yeah, I want to know from you and the 702 landers, Bongs, do you have a friend who has a bad reputation, and why do you stick by them still?
Ooh, I think at times you think you can still win them over. I think at times you think that I know them differently.
Or you know a different side of them.
Right?
Yeah.
And you think you can win them over to the degree that whatever is being said about them might be true. And I mean, when it's easy to judge people you don't know. And that's why loving someone makes it difficult to judge them, right? It's easy to be clear and black and white with people you don't know. But when it's someone close, those conversations and those decisions are much trickier, aren't they?
Gray areas.
Yeah, all right. I wonder what prompts that question.
702.
Weather.
17 after 6, a partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng today. Temperatures peaking at 23 degrees, both in Johannesburg and Pretoria, a low of 9 in both cities. Vereeniging, 11 and 24. Bombela, 11 and 28. Bloemfontein, 6 and 23. Durban, also partly cloudy. They're expecting some showers. Temperatures will max at 17 there. Gqeberha and East London, your high is 20, as it is in Cape Town.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702, 18 after 6. Amo, what are you seeing on the roads?
Well, Bongani, we've got an accident in Meyerton. It's along the R59 North. It happened near Heidelberg Road. It's causing heavy delays. In fact, bumper-to-bumper traffic there. About a 20-minute hold-up coming out of Joan Road. Please be on the lookout there and try to avoid. If you're heading towards areas like Germiston, Alberton and Katlehong, please try using the N3 North instead. Traveling in the city of Tshwane, we've got another accident scene reported in Centurion. This one is along Lynchon Avenue. It's right near Old Johannesburg Road. It's also causing delays. Please approach with care. I'll have more updates for you, but if you come across anything else on the roads, we're on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. Like a businesswoman on the way to the airport after sleeping through her alarm. Bags in the back, boarding pass on the dashboard. She prays she'll make her flight.
Hope I make it.
The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic. It's the potential closing of a big deal. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005. In proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Your parents have done a lot for you. Now that they're older, say 65 and up, you can do one thing for them. Consider vaccination against the flu to help protect them from severe illness. Speak to your healthcare provider today to book an appointment covered by most medical schemes. A message brought to you by Sanofi.
James, congrats on the babies.
Yeah, thanks. It's a wild ride.
You're a new dad, 2 babies, 0 sleep, and 1 car that apparently couldn't cope.
Yeah, the hatchback was my baby, but it just didn't have enough space for my 2 new babies.
And are you happy with the price when you sold to We Buy Cars?
Very. We've even got some extra cash to splurge on one of those fancy brands that you basically need a license for.
Good luck, James. We Buy Cars. Geared for family, geared for you.
For those 2 a.m. checkouts or the late night shifts, for the last minute orders and the beginning of the month rush, for the 9 to 5 that becomes a 5 to 9. You don't clock out, and neither should your payments. Pay fast by network, always open for the dreamers, the doers, for you. From e-commerce to in-store payments and business funding, we have you covered. Sign up today at payfast.io.
After a short migration, the family arrives at the premier resort, rich in food, drink, and entertainment. The young, freed from classroom captivity, head straight for Kids Club and the safety of the herd. The adult male meanders to the scuba center, while the matriarch basks by the pool.
Book your resort escape to Knysna, East London, Scottburgh or Sunny Pass at premierhotels.co.za.
What if a few small shifts could dramatically boost retirement incomes? So this Thursday on 702 Breakfast, Old Mutual Corporate will bring you more learnings shared at the recent Old Mutual Thought Leaders Forum. This time, we're going to be looking at some ways employers can help improve retirement saving. We'll be talking real-world impact, employer case studies, and smart shifts that are reshaping the future of retirement. Join the conversation on Thursday, the 21st of August, and it's brought to you by Old Mutual Corporate on 702.
702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
Hi, good morning, Bongani and the team. My name is Sam Tswai from Johannesburg. So with regard to that, the taxi operators in Mpumalanga, I think that gentleman need to be arrested straight away. He need to go to jail. He need to be arrested. The charges will be for all the trauma that has been caused to the passengers and the drivers for owning their own cars. Thank you.
Yo, good morning, Bongani. I think with this taxi thing, the Minister of Transport should be the one taking the lead to fight these people with the Minister of Police. But knowing South Africans, the way they act, it's going to be a long time before you hear anything from government. Figo from the Duza.
The South African National Taxi Council, Mpumalanga chairperson Fanyana Sibanyoni, just played your clip there where he says you don't have the right as a motorist to have passengers in your vehicle. And really, they'll only be gracious if that person in your car is a family member. And even then, not without their approval. If you see them patrolling, you don't pick up the family member to give them a ride without first asking their people for permission. Yes, you heard me right. That's exactly what he thinks.
Good morning. Bungles, me and you are going to fight because I think my husband makes the best liver pate. I also grill about the texture, but that liver pate is the best. I think we're going to have a cook-off.
Listen, did your husband win Come Dine With Me South Africa? Ha!
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
Love it, love it, love it, love it. You can watch all the madness live, by the way. We're streaming on YouTube. I think it's about, 300 folks at the moment watching. Come on, more of you can join in and you can feel free to make your comments there. So welcome one, welcome all. The show goes on. Things you need to know at this hour. Do you ever drive on the roads and you see a vehicle overloaded with cargo and you think to yourself, was this thing even meant to be on the road? Well, today Stats SA is going to release the June Land Transport Survey to give us a snapshot of how South Africans and our goods move about, essentially. So this survey tracks everything from trucks loaded with freight rolling down our highways to the number of people catching taxis, buses, or trains. And if Santaco would have anything to do with it, they probably want to know how many of us are getting lifts from family members or colleagues. The 2023 survey showed a third of households use mini bus taxis. That is indeed still the heartbeat of daily travel in South Africa. Buses and trains far less, reaching just 4.2 and 1.8% of households respectively. And still, Santaco says that's not enough. Talking about them, they will be holding a press briefing today to give an update on the latest goings on in the taxi industry. They're going to be talking about plans to improve public transport, and you'll be hearing from leaders from both Gauteng and national offices of the South African National Taxi Council. I think I said association a little earlier on, and a finger from Amo wagged, and I knew I had it wrong. Cambridge Dictionary is adding 6,000 new words to its online edition, and many come straight from social media. Words like skibidi. Is that how you say it? It's apparently a rap phrase. Do you know what it is, Mateo? Skibidi?
No.
Amo? No? You don't know skibidi?
Skibidi.
What about, okay, you've already mentioned Delulu. Delulu? Are you Delulu? Is Santaco Delulu? ANC Delulu. Trad wife? Do you know what that is? Your trad wife? Your traditional wife, apparently.
Oh my goodness.
No, that's not necessary. No.
Your trad wife. All of these are words that have moved from TikTok and online trends into everyday conversations and showing how viral culture is changing the way we speak. We'll get more details from Adam Gilchrist. On this day in 2020, Apple became the first U.S. company to reach a $2 trillion market value, doubling in just 2 years. And of course, the company reported strong quarterly earnings, with Forbes Africa noting the pandemic played a role. And today, August 19th, would have been Chandler's birthday. Matthew Perry, he would have been 56 today. Chandler Bing, of course, was the character he played in that hit series Friends. Matthew Perry was born in 1969 in Massachusetts. He passed away in October 2023. And recently, federal authorities in the U.S., they announced that Jasvin Sangha, dubbed the Ketamine Queen, has agreed to plead charges related to the distributing of drugs that contributed to Matthew Perry's death.
702.
The newspapers.
And Sfiso Zulu, let's look at the newspapers. What is making international headlines? We often speak about South African newspapers. What's going on around the world?
Let's start with the New York Times. The New York Times is covering a story about the joys of childhood dissolving into indelible trauma of children in Gaza. And there's a picture here in the front page of the New York Times of children just playing there. And in the background, you can see the shelters that the Gaza Palestinian residents have taken shelter in. And the Washington Post is running a story about how frustrated U.S. citizens are moving abroad to look for help because health in America is getting increasingly expensive. And so they're going to other countries to seek for help. So frustrated by health costs, some U.S. citizens leave U.S. And finally, the USA Today, they are focusing on farmers who are aging. And their concerns is that there are fewer young people who are taking the place of farmers who have stopped working on farms.
All right, looking at international headlines. In South Africa, the Sowetan says, cops attacked us for seeking work. 18 people sue state alleging police assaulted them whilst queuing for jobs at a supermarket during lockdown. The Citizens front page is Lesotho's pricey license plates. Civil rights group AfriForum, that's what the Citizen is calling them. They're demanding transparency as they appeal for cost disclosure and effectiveness data on the anti-new fraud GP number plate system. And the Business Day is leading with magistrates taking the president to the court because they're not earning as much as they think they should. Is there any story that stands out for you, Sfiso?
Yeah, it's actually the front page of the Sowetan that you've mentioned, just to give a bit of details. So these 18 job seekers, they are suing the police. They are alleging that they were assaulted by police 5 years ago while they were looking for jobs. They had gathered outside the supermarket where they believed jobs were available, and they sent 5 representatives inside to speak with the job management. And as the representatives exited that meeting, these job seekers saw police vans coming to them and started firing rubber bullets, saying that they were causing public violence. And so now they are suing the police for wrongful assaults. And they're saying they were assaulted wrongly because they were there looking for jobs.
Good
One
Lord.
job seeker actually says that she is suing the police because she says her trauma raised her blood pressure, which, according to doctors, resulted in complications in the delivery of her twins, who were born 7 months into a pregnancy and died hours later. And at the time, she was pregnant. And therefore, she's one of the 18 people who are suing the state.
Good Lord. Good Lord. By the way, for all of those of you who want to see what Sfiso Zulu looks like, always come, make sure you're streaming when it's the newspapers section. Otherwise, it goes and he hides in his little booth. Those are the newspapers.
EWN Business.
Otero, you're asking us, do you have a friend who has a bad reputation, and why? Do we stick by them? Do we love them regardless? Do we think we can change them? What prompts the question?
Bongani, MTN Group lost about 30 billion rand in share value on Monday.
30 billion.
Yeah, 30 billion rand. And it wasn't because of horrible financial results, because, of course, they reported on results yesterday. The results were actually quite good, but a more concerning development for the company. The telecoms group has disclosed that it is now the subject to a grand jury investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice. The investigation will look into MTN's operations in Afghanistan, a country where it used to operate, and its operations in Iran, when it has a 49% stake in Iran Cell. Now, both countries are political opponents to the U.S. and both face sanctions currently. MTN says it has been approached regarding a U.S. Department of Justice jury investigation relating to MTN Group, its former subsidiary in Afghanistan, as well as Iran Cell. The telecoms firm says it's cooperating with the DOJ and responding to its requests. The news saw the company share down 10% during day trade and closed lower by 8% at market close. Now, in the Afghanistan case, MTN is alleged to have paid protection money to the Taliban in Afghanistan, endangering the lives of U.S. soldiers. This also violating America's Anti-Terrorism Act. So it's a very, very serious case for them.
Gosh, all right. We'll see where that develops and where that goes to. But 30 billion rand, you say, is not to be sniffed at. Where's the rand?
17 rand 64 cents, holding on to marginal gains against the US dollar, 20 rand 57 cents against the euro, and 23 rand 80 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $3,337 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,328. Brent crude at $66.21 a barrel. More business after 7.
Straight to the news desk we go. Sfiso Zulu. Rise Mzansi is weighing in on issues. Good morning.
That's right, Bongani. Its national chairperson, Vuyiswa Ramokgopa, says governments of provincial unity in Gauteng appears to be more consultative and cohesive than the national government coalition. The government of national unity has faced divisions, with some arguing the ANC hardly consults coalition partners. A recent study by the Mapungubwe Institute for Strategic Reflection found that despite being a minority government, the Gauteng coalition has demonstrated greater maturity than most coalitions in the country. Speaking at a media briefing yesterday, Ramokgopa said that the Gauteng coalition has a culture of coordination.
We have been able to cultivate quite a consultative process, even as it pertains to, even the Premier's own program of action, the restructuring of the senior management that I mentioned earlier. We were consulted on that. So I'd say, there has been so far a culture of open consultation.
The state has asked the Western Cape High Court to impose life sentences to 3 men convicted of killing a woman outside the Wynberg Magistrates Court in 2023. Mandisi Mofu has been found guilty of Christine Gumira's murder, the attempted murder of Tandiful Yon, who was caught in the crossfire, and the possession of an illegal firearm and ammunition. Lukhanyo Mene and Vuminkosi Vumani have been found guilty of helping Mofu to kill Gumira by pointing her out. Ntutuzelo Nene has more.
Mandisi Mofu, Lukhanyo Mene and Vuminkosi Vumani appeared before Western Cape High Court Judge Andre Legrange yesterday to ask for lesser sentences. However, the prosecution has asked for life sentences to be imposed to all 3 men for their involvement in the murder of Christine Gumira. State prosecutor Advocate Chandra Smith adds that the trio did not provide any compelling circumstances for the court to deviate from prescribed sentences of life imprisonment for murder. Sentences will be handed down on Thursday. Ndutuzelo Nene, Eyewitness News.
Former Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka says she has high expectations for the Y20 summit, where hundreds of youth leaders are meeting in Ekurhuleni this week. The youth leg of the G20 is meeting for 5 days in Ekurhuleni, with delegates from the member states expected to discuss climate change, inclusive economic growth, employment and multilateralism. This is the first time the summit has been hosted on the continent. Mlambo-Ngcuka joined the delegates at the opening, where she said that the world faces unprecedented challenges, including heightened geopolitical tensions. Young people need to step up to the plate.
The world is the most divided world we've ever seen. There's so much death that shouldn't be taking place that we are seeing. We are seeing economies being wrecked, and you have to help us to rebuild our economies so that we don't leave you with economies that will not work for you. And we have to address also the unemployment that we are seeing, and of course the impacts this will have on young people.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 8 and 9 degrees, peaking at highs between 23 and 24.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident in Meyerton. This one is on the R59 North. It happened near Heidelberg Road. Delays coming out of Joan Road. As a result, Heidelberg Road at the R59 ramp has been closed off to traffic to try and clear the scene. If you're traveling in Sunning Hill, some delays along the N1 North, also due to an accident near the Baku interchange. Delays coming out of Rivonia Road.
The top story this hour, Rise Mzansi's Vuyisa Ramokgopa says the government of provincial unity appears to be performing better than the GNU.
702 delivers
on the matters that matter to you.
Hi everyone, my name is Tsepang from Midrand. I love 702 because of the credibility of their news, the also credibility of their information. You can rely on their presenters, and on a lighter note, I also love their Whiz Quiz feature.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
so we can deliver more on what matters to you.
702 listens.
Let's walk the talk.
Outsurance is simply the best at ensuring you have a great claims experience. Outsurance has again lowered their number of complaints per 1,000 claims referred to the Ombudsman, and on top of it scored 9.99 in the Hello Peter Trust Index, plus a near 5-star rating on Google reviews. So isn't it time you switch to the insurer where you always get something out? Visit outsurance.co.za today. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
When it comes to protecting your workforce, trust the workwear brand that has been protecting workers for over 150 years, Sweetall. Sweetall has overalls and uniform solutions for every industry, so your team is safe, comfortable, and ready to tackle any challenge. Visit our new Boksburg showroom, shop A1 Atlas Road, Westwood, Boksburg, or go to sweetall.com today. Sweetall, we never let you down. Superior protective workwear since 1871.
Are you looking for the best savings on spectacles? At Specsavers, enjoy 1,500 Rand off when you get tested at South Africa's trusted and most established optical group. Get 1,500 Rand off all frames in store, or use your 1,500 Rand off on our leading lens enhancements, such as drive light lenses that reduce artificial glare whilst driving. Book online or call your nearest store today. Affordable eye care, Specsavers. T's and C's apply.
As a business owner, would you rather deal with stacks of slips at the end of each day or have recons done instantly? Introducing Yoko Counter, the new all-in-one payments and points of sale system that removes the guesswork, the paperwork, and the time drain. Taking your business from chaos to control, guesswork to clarity, giving you back time to focus on what truly matters. Visit yoko.com today to find out more about the simple yet powerful out-of-the-box solution with free built-in point of sale software.
The 12th edition of the DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, is here. Experience unbelievable and unbeatable vibes this heritage weekend at the Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit on the 20th and 21st of September. So on Saturday the 20th, catch Don Toliver, Cuesta, Inkabi Zezwe, and more. Then on Sunday the 21st, don't miss the iconic Lauren Hill on her 25th anniversary tour. She's got special guests Wyclef Jean, YG Mali, and Zion Mali. We've got Lira there, Mandisi Yankisi, Zoe Mudicha also performing on the Sunday. Your tickets are at Ticketmaster. The DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star, proudly supported by 702.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Mr. Bingwa, to my own observation to these taxi people, I think this is the beginning of the end of the taxi industry. People are fed up with these people.
Good morning. I think Sangtaka are very confused about what rights we all have. Let's just be clear here. They have a right to offer a service. They don't have a right to every passenger. But equally, every passenger has a right to choose whether they use their service. I find it very odd that he can talk about not violating people's rights while asserting a right he doesn't have. Very, very strange country we live in. Justin.
Morning, Bongani and team. Just two things for myself. The taxi boss from Mpumalanga. But you're right, nothing will change because you've got politicians like Ntateqele, who is a taxi boss, and his other friends. You've got Metro Police officers who are police. You've got police who are taxi bosses. You've got policemen also who are taxi bosses. That's a big problem. So it's not going to be an easy problem to resolve unless there's serious interventions in place. Anyway, on the lighter note, Ponto, can we add Ponto? Ponto ki 2 rand.
Good morning, Bongles. History repeats itself, and we must learn to accept that. 20, 30 years ago, minibus taxis were a game changer. They revolutionized the transport industry much faster than the cheaper buses at the time. Community wanted minibuses, and they got it. Now, community wants e-hailing. Minibuses must accept that. Again, history repeats itself.
I was speaking to a colleague who lives in Sydney in Australia, and one of the things she always remarks about when she's in Johannesburg is that Sydney is a city where they do everything they can to discourage you from driving your car within the central business districts, and that means public transport is readily and widely available. And so that means everything from being able to use fast trains to being able to use buses. Transport is readily and freely available. Part of the reason so many South Africans spend huge chunks of their salaries, yes, we can talk about apartheid spatial planning and how far people live from their places of work, but a huge chunk of it has to be the fares we pay to use those mini buses. And so even as technology changes and improvements come, there's going to be this resistance, and government cannot be asleep at the wheel on this.
EWN Sport.
Welcome back to Anthony Teixeira. Good morning, Anthony Teixeira.
Good morning.
Am I still saying it right?
Listen, it's great. It's fantastic.
So you're a younger person than we are. We are talking about the fact that the Cambridge Dictionary is adding 6,000 new words to its online edition over the past year, many of them coming straight from social media. I was 2 years old when I found out the meaning of delulu.
Really?
Which means delusional.
Yes.
There's a thing called a trad wife.
Yes, yes.
Which is your traditional wife. Good. What we can't find the meaning of is skibidi. Skibidi?
I don't know.
Apparently it's a rap hip-hop thing.
I'm not in the loop on that one.
You'll stick to sport, thank you very much. If I asked you about the Proteas and the ODI series with Australia, you might know a thing or two about that one, hey?
I might.
Yeah, okay.
Show
it to me.
We will start down under with the Proteas this morning, beginning that ODI series. The last series to be played in Cairns was in 2022 with that ODI between Aussies and New Zealand, where the highest total set was 267. And the South Africans have been set into bat in their first innings. They're 11 for the loss of none in the fourth over. Aiden Markram, he's on 6 alongside Ryan Rickardson, who's there on 5. What we do have is 2 debutants in the South African side, as Devot Brevis and Prenalyn Subrayen have received their first caps. Meanwhile, Kagiso Rabada has been ruled out from the 3-match series due to inflammation of his right ankle. Switching to rugby, Makazole Mampimpi has been recalled to the Springbok squad to cover and bolster that backline after Kurtley Arendse and Edwin van der Merwe were forced to withdraw from the second rugby championship test. Head coach Rassie Erasmus had earlier confirmed the injuries also to reigning World Player of the Year Peter Steph du Toit and captain Siya Kolisi, the latter being released as he faces a lengthy layoff with a knee injury.
Internally, our team has been announced. We wouldn't do it today, then everybody thinks it's mind games again. It's just internally the guys know who's playing. Yeah, Siya's out for a knee, I think 4 weeks. Peter Steph, concussion. Kurtley, knee. Edwell, ankle. That's everybody.
Erasmus also announced that Jesse Creel will captain the side for the Cape Town test, with the remainder of the squad set to be confirmed today. In football, South Africa were dumped out of the African Nations Championship as they led 2 late goals as they were 3-3 with Uganda. An inferior goal difference to Algeria sees them fail to make the knockouts, while Leeds United became the first championship champions in 18 years to pick up an opening match day win the following season in the Premier League. Lucas Mecha scored from the penalty spots to see off Everton 1-0. It's also only the 3rd time in the league's history that 2 newly promoted sides started with wins in the top flight, the other one being Sunderland. And a former Orlando Pirates and Mpumalanga Black Aces striker, Tenda Ndoro, passed away at the age of 40. He was found unresponsive at his Johannesburg apartments on Monday having hung up his playing boots in 2020. Anthony Teixeira, Eyewitness News Sport.
The brainy kids of the Whiskers.
On 702.
Hello, Uncle Bongani. I am Andile. I'm 13 years old and I go to Hoërskool Jeugland, and I want to become a real estate agent when I grow up, and I'd love to play the Whiz Quiz.
Will you be able to buy my property? Sell my property? Let's see, Andile.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN traffic.
14 to 7. Let's catch up with the roads now. Amo, there's a crash on the R59 North. What's going on?
That's correct, Bongani, in Meyerton, and it's causing heavy traffic volumes. About a 30-minute hold-up already from Joan Road. As a result, Heidelberg Road off-ramp has been closed off to traffic just to try and clear the scene. If you are heading towards Alberton, Germiston, or even Katlehong, please try to use the N3 North. Traffic is flowing much better along that route. Heading towards the Baklu turn-off, we've got another accident scene. This one is on the N1 North in the Sunninghill area. It happened near the Baklu interchange. It's causing heavy traffic volumes coming out of Rivonia Road. Please be on the lookout there. And then in Centurion, another accident scene along Lenshan Avenue. It happened near Old Johannesburg Road, already causing delays. I'll have more updates for you. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The DSTV Delicious Festival, powered by Lotto Star, is back with just one ticket. Experience is going to be unforgettable. Music, mouth-watering food, bold fashion, vibrant art. Saturday 20th, Sunday 21st of September. Celebrate with friends and bring the family for a picnic on the Sunday. This year, DSTV celebrates 30 years with international headliners, South Africa's hottest talent, and a feast that's as big as the vibe. It's Africa's biggest music and food festival. Get your tickets now at Ticketmaster. The DSTV Delicious International Food and Music Festival, powered by Lotto Star and supported by 947 and 702. More on deliciousfestival.com.
The team's on a roll today. Let me focus on payroll. Duty calls in the kitchen. That's why I have a business insurer that is agile and on the ball all the time on all things. I chose My Way Business Insurance, getting 24/7 emergency service and saving on my premiums, plus my business assist to handle my admin.
Visit myway.co.za or dial 0860 64 64 64 and get a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's, C's and standard rates apply. My Way. Live your way.
The Festival of Motoring, powered by Westbank, brings the spirit of Ubuntu to the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit from the 29th to the 31st of August. Experience thrilling track drives, 4x4 adventures, drifting, supercar hot laps, and F1 demos. Get your tickets on Howler and use the promo code RADIO for a special discount. The Festival of Motoring, the power of new.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Hi, Bongani and 702 lenders. I think a word that should be put in the dictionary is snogonogo. When I say it, my kids know what I mean. My brother knows what I mean. And I'm sure you guys can guess what it means. Good
morning, Bongs and the team, 702 Land. Bongs, I think the word that should be used in the dictionary for me is asikolapo. Asikolapo has been being used every day, even by you as well, especially when you disapprove something, you know? Anyway, asikolapo, have a splendid Tuesday. Joel from Kempton Park, streaming live from Lusaka.
And he never tells us why he's in Lusaka, he just teases us with that. But Asikalapa, Joel, Asikalapa, for any non-Nguni speaker, it literally means we're not there, or we're not about that, I suppose, is the closest English translation to Asikalapa. Snogonogo, what does that mean?
Snookfish.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, usually you'd have that with fat cakes. And
okay.
snogonogo.
Snogonogo.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. You want a snogonogo? 10 to 7.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Up next, the food crisis brought on by foot and mouth disease. But let's give away some cash, shall we? Andile is 13 years old. Wants to be in real estate a little later on in life. Maybe big commercial deals. Hey, Andile.
Hello, Uncle Bongani.
Hello, hello, hello. Are you ready to play?
Yes, I am.
All right. Say it with confidence. Make sure we are hearing you. Make sure we've got the answers that you give. 10 questions, 60 seconds. Can you win 10,000 Rand? KG, let's go. Spell the word monitor.
MONITOR.
Correct. What is the name of the force that pulls things towards the earth? What is the name of the force that pulls everything towards the earth?
Gravity.
Correct. True or false? A banjo is a string instrument.
Yes. True.
Correct. What is the name of the toy cowboy in Toy Story?
Woody.
Correct. How many weeks are there in a year?
58.
52. From which country are the Black Ferns women's rugby team? Is it New Zealand or Zambia?
New Zealand.
Correct. In which of our neighboring countries is Portuguese an official language? Mozambique or Eswatini? It was Mozambique. Mozambique is the correct answer. Andile, you walk away with 5 correct answers, and that means 500 Rand. You were a little slow in getting to some of those answers, even though you got most of those correct, or most of those early ones correct nonetheless. 500 Rand is what you walk away with. Remember, it's $100 for each correct answer. 10,000 Rand if you get them all right.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Coming up in the next hour, what's the question? And it's brought to you by Outsurance. Up to 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. All you need to do is send us an answer based on something that piqued your interest in the show. And for that, you win 1,000 Rand. No, it won't be Snogonogo. Simply WhatsApp us your name and the answer to 072 702 1702. Then later, someone will ask a question to win 2,000 Rand. Now remember, you stand a better chance of being selected to give us today's answer if you've SMS'd out to Outsurance and got yourself a quote. So do it now. SMS out to 45142 and you could save on your car insurance.
Current events, developing stories,
Tough questions.
your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
South Africa's red meat industry is in crisis, with foot and mouth disease spreading like wildfire. Experts now calling it totally out of control. From the Free State to the Northwest, outbreaks keep flaring up. Supply chains are creaking, and of course, what it means for you is that prices are going to go up, and that might impact what meat you choose to put on your plates. We've invited somebody who knows all about this, the Deputy Director General for Agricultural Production, Biosecurity and Natural Resources Management. This is Dipepeneneng Serage to help us understand just how bad things are. Mr. Serage, thank you so much for your time and welcome to 702 Breakfast.
Morning to you and to your listeners. The name is Dipepeneneng Serage, but thank you very much for having us.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Dipepeneneng Serage. Have I got it right this time?
Yeah, you got it right.
I apologize for that mistake. All right, let's go straight into it. We've been hearing from a number of experts who are saying this foot and mouth outbreak, or at least the continuing outbreaks, are now getting out of control. Is that an accurate description from where you sit?
No, it's not. It's not out of control, but it's not the level at which we want to find ourselves as a country, as a department, but it's not out of control, really. There are sporadic outbreaks here and there, and which we immediately, as soon as we are aware, and cordon off and contain, but it's not out of control, no.
You're saying they're sporadic, but they seem to be popping out quite regularly. We've seen them in places like the Free State and the Northwest, and despite those containment efforts, it does seem to be spreading.
It does, but if you look at last year and the year before, this doesn't mean we're happy, but last year and the year before, around about the same time, we have this sporadic flaring up, but we got, at any given point, we used from 2023 2019 coming this way, which is a very bad picture, I must add. We sit with around 200 or so open outbreaks. What that means is that we would have identified an outbreak and would have taken measures to contain it where it is. So the areas of Northwest, Free State, if you look at us, those are the areas where there's a higher concentration of livestock and feedlots and abattoirs. But we're not happy. We're trying everything to ensure that it does not spread out of control in our way. But the current one is not really out of control, but it's worrying outbreak.
Look, I mean, obviously, I don't want to quibble with, words out of control, worrying. The issue is we've got a problem and we need to deal with it. And I wonder how much vaccines are an issue. Some farmers are saying they've been in short supply. Is that a factor?
Yes, no. The vaccines are not enough, but we've got the supplier we order from. As you know, about a month or so ago, we ordered 900,000 vaccines. We paid for already. We got half of that. It's already in the country. There's another batch coming soon. As soon as that batch comes, we will rush to those areas that we need to be vaccinated. So the current outbreak versus the availability of vaccines, if that is what the question is, we've got enough vaccines to cover the current outbreaks. So, at the moment, we hope for them not to increase.
You said we've recorded 200 in what period?
Around 200. So what we would call outbreak, maybe let's make this one simple. What makes an outbreak? What is it that we call an outbreak? Is a reported case of foot and mouth disease. So it doesn't take 6 months to eradicate, but what is very important is as soon as an outbreak is reported, what is important is for us to contain it. In other words, to ensure that it's confined to the area at which it was discovered. Let me use the word discover. As soon as we identify an outbreak, we contain it there, and then we call it outbreak 1.
All right.
And then until all those animals are out of the system, we keep it open. So it's an open outbreak. So that's what the numbers mustn't really mislead. So the current one, Northwest and Eastern Cape, these are very minor in terms of numbers. So there aren't many cattle involved, but of course they are still open. So they'll add to others. You would remember that after about a year, we only now closed the human stop in the Eastern Cape outbreak. I just want to illustrate what we mean that when we say it's open. Limpopo, 3 years ago, we only closed them now. It's when after all animals are out of the system, we keep it open. But Northwest, Free State are the current additions with a bit of Gauteng. Gauteng has been contained.
All right, just explain to me, because I'm trying to understand this 200. It's 200 cases then, in how long a period?
Over 3 years, more or less, around 3 years.
What would be typical?
No, like I said, once there's a reported case, you say 1. Then you go cordon off the area, vaccinate all animals.
Sure. Yeah. What would be typical?
I don't understand.
What would the typical number be in a period of that long?
Yeah, it would be around 100 outbreaks, 100 reported cases. Let me just remember the areas around KZN, Limpopo, and Mpumalanga. You will have FMD cases throughout. Even when we were free from FMD without vaccination, you still had viruses circulating in those areas that are surrounding Kruger National Park and surrounding Mfolozi. So at any given point, you'll easily have, I don't have the figures with me, you easily have over 100 cases, but most of them confined to the areas where it expected to happen.
All right, so all of this means higher prices for what we put on our tables, hey?
It shouldn't, but yeah, it does. It does go up and down, and we're perfecting our science. As you know, maybe just using your platform, animals infected with foot and mouth disease would not die, 1, and 2, meat from those animals, once slaughtered following correct scientific procedures and veterinary procedures, meat from those animals, most quarters except the head and the hooves, those and also the what we call fifth quarter, the intestines and that meat from those animals, it's also safe. So we shouldn't really have the higher prices unnecessarily, but the economy, because you'd expect that once the the feed and mouth outbreak is contained, then prices must normalize. But we don't see that. It's something that we're trying to look into as to why.
All right, appreciate your time. That is the Deputy Director General for Agricultural Production, Biosecurity and Natural Resources Management, Dipepeneneng Serage.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
Up next, the taxi wars. We've seen the violence at Maponya Mall. When will this be contained?
This is EWN.
The ANC comes down hard on NEC members who criticized it in public, and convicted child rapist Peter Simiao will know his fate in court today. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. ANC National Executive Committee members Malusi Gigaba and Senzo Mchunu are in hot water for recent public remarks the party perceives to be decampaigning against it. The party says it disapproves their conduct, which violates the ANC's internal communications protocol. Last week, Gigaba said he thought the start of the national dialogue should be delayed, while over the weekend, Mchunu suggested the ANC could face its end if support continues to decline at the polls. Lindsay Dentlinger has more.
As tensions swelled between legacy foundations and the presidency last week over the haste to convene the National Convention, ANC MP Malusi Gigaba said he thought the dialogue should be delayed to avoid it becoming another talk shop. Meanwhile, speaking at a tombstone unveiling in KwaZulu-Natal over the weekend, suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu suggested the ANC is on the brink of collapse and that the next elections could spell its death knell. The ANC has taken a dim view of these comments, saying the pair acted outside of any sanctioned organizational mandate in making these remarks. Spokesperson Malengi Bengu says the remarks also do not reflect the views of any legitimate structure of the party and are seen as an opportunistic assault on its image and credibility. The party says it will take steps to stop members from making statements that undermine its established protocols and internal cohesion. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
Rise Mzansi leader Songezo Zibi says Defence Minister Entjie Motshekga should be dismissed for defending what he calls the rogue SANDF chief Rudzani Maponya. Maponya has come under fire for his trip in Iran, where he reportedly urged stronger military ties between South Africa and the Middle Eastern nation. President Cyril Ramaphosa believes Mapoanya's remarks risk straining South Africa's diplomatic relations with the US. Rise Mzansi raised the matter during a media briefing in Johannesburg yesterday. Alfred Mushwana was there.
While President Cyril Ramaphosa is displeased with SANDF chief Rudzani Mapoanya's remarks, Defence Minister Entjie Motshekga has come to his defence. It's understood Motshekga authorised Mapoanya's visit to Iran last year before South Africa landed up in the bad books of the United States. Rise Mzansi leader Songezo Zibi maintains that regardless of the context, Mapoanya shouldn't have made statements that could undermine the union building its efforts to stabilize ties with the White House.
That Entjie is spineless and does not want to deal with the issue. Does not mean she is correct. She herself is wrong. And if I was a president, I would also dismiss her as defense minister due to unsuitability and having zero strategic awareness.
Zibi says the president shouldn't drag his feet in holding the SANDF chief accountable. Alpha Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
The man who raped and killed 6-year-old Amantle Samane is expected to be sentenced today in the Johannesburg High Court. Peter Simiao was arrested last year after the little girl's body was found in his shack in Orlando, Soweto. He's pleaded guilty to charges including kidnapping and contravening the South African Immigration Act. Ndogozo Kumalo reports.
A little over a year ago, Amantle Samane was reported missing by her mother, who could not find her outside where she had been playing. The child was later discovered in Peter Simiao's shack after an eyewitness led a search party to his place. Simiao fled the scene following the discovery of the little girl's body, but was eventually tracked down and arrested. The incident had sparked widespread outrage, with community members calling for justice. Ndogozo Kumalo, Eyewitness News.
And Palestinian armed group Hamas has informed mediators that it has approved the latest Gaza ceasefire proposal and it is ready to resume negotiations to discuss ending Israel's war on Gaza. The proposal is believed to include a temporary cessation of military operations for 60 days, during which the Israeli army will relocate to allow the entry of humanitarian aid. Half of the 50 Israeli captives will be exchanged for Palestinian prisoners within the same time frame. Over the past 2 years, Hamas has accepted proposals for a ceasefire and the release of Israeli captives and the Palestinian prisoners only for Israel to reject them and insist on continuing the war. The Israeli military has now killed more than 62,000 Palestinians and threatens further mass displacement amid man-made starvation. More than 1,200 people were killed in Hamas attacks and 251 held as hostages by the group in October 2023. Gold $1,335.36 an ounce. The rand is at 17.64 to the dollar, 23.83 to the pound, 20.57 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.20 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we still have got that major accident scene in Meyerton along the R59 North. It's causing heavy traffic volumes between Joan Road and Heidelberg Road. As a result, the Heidelberg Road off-ramp has been closed off to traffic. As a result, people are now navigating onto Vereniging Road to try and avoid these delays. If you're heading towards Alberton, Katlehong, Vosloorus, please try using the N3 North instead. While traveling in Sunninghill, another major accident scene on the N1 North. It happened right near the Baklu interchange. Delays at this moment from Winnie Mandela Drive.
And in your sport, we get the latest from the Proteas ODI against Australia. Leeds returned to the Premier League with a hard-fought 1-0 win over Everton, and Yannick Sinner in a race to be fit for the US Open title defense following a shock retirement in Cincinnati.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng, Johannesburg and Pretoria both at 9 and a high of 23 degrees, Vereniging 11 and 24. The top story in EWN this hour, ANC National Executive Committee members Malusi Gigaba and Senzo Mchunu are in hot water for recent public remarks the party perceives to be decampaigning against it.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Your vote is not just a click. It's a thank you, a nod, a way of saying we see you. Vote for your favorite local business now on primemediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Does the ANC listen or does it gag? Do you shoot the messenger because you don't like what it is they have to say? You might argue it's rich for disgraced former minister Malusi Gigaba and now suspended Senzo Mchunu to be the ones pointing out the obvious to the ANC. But doesn't it tell you something that the party, instead of hearing the comrades and saying maybe there's a point to what they're saying, and I understand they've got structures and all kinds of ways to deal with these things. But on the other hand, Nigel, the voters, they know what's going on. I want you to listen to some clips. These are courtesy of Times Live, who interviewed Malusi Gigaba. Their digital politics editor, Lize Katandwa, interviewed the former minister. I want you to listen to how, and I can now say, Dr. Gigaba is reflecting on ANC's alleged vote-buying processes these last few elections. Have a listen.
We've moved to the stage where I think after the events of 2017, where the wholesale buying of votes in the ANC, when this culture just became endemic and now it affects all structures of the movement, it's something that the leadership of the ANC Youth League has got to intervene to stop, because it affects not just the current political environment, it affects the very fate of the National Democratic Revolution. It will certainly be aborted if we do not put an end to this malice.
He goes on to say the ANC has moved very far from what it promised in 1994, and essentially the party has run out of promises that it can reflect on when it comes to election time.
When we went to the 2024 elections, we actually did not take into consideration the progress that had taken place since 1994. So we come back to people and say to them that we've built 5 million houses. Yeah, sure, they've had this before. We've provided so many millions of people with water. They've had this before. What is the new thing that you are presenting to them? A new, exciting agenda that says to them, now that you've also provided NSFAS and you have hundreds of thousands of young people who are going through the education, the higher education system, be it the TVET colleges or universities, what is it that you are now saying you are going to do as your topmost priority in order to get these young people to participate in the productive economy? In actual fact, to the contrary, unemployment is still rife. You may want to gerrymander with the statistics, but the fact remains, unemployment remains rife. The economy is not growing. People are still struggling to earn a sustainable income, and that's the issue we should now be thinking about: how to package this and present an exciting program to the people.
Bazima Shilowa responding on X saying, I presume they accept their role in its decline. Johnny JJ Isaac says, the two messengers are key players to the destruction of the ANC. Gigaba was a Gupta enabler. Mkhunu has been suspended as a minister of police for allegedly taking orders from criminals. So do you look at the messenger or do you hear what it is they have to say? It's 12 minutes after 7.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
12 after 7, as I say. The other issue I've been harping on about for a little while now are the remarks made by the SANDF chief, Rudzani Mapoanya, who, of course, went to Iran and made political statements well beyond what his mandate allows, and the president confirming that he neither knew about the trip nor sanctioned it, and that's just not how those things work. But how much have we heard from the Defense Minister, Angie Motshekga? The only statement that department issued was that the comments of the general were unfortunate, but there's been little or no action taken at all. I want you to now listen to Rise Mzansi leader Songezo Zibi saying actually both this general and Sleepy Angie need to go.
So army officers are not supposed to make political statements at all. What the general said in Iran can be said by Angie Motshekga, not him. That Angie is spineless and does not want to deal with the issue. Does not mean she is correct. She herself is wrong. And if I was a president, I would also dismiss her as defense minister due to unsuitability and having zero strategic awareness, like the general who has zero strategic awareness.
Yep. How many times have we seen these people put in these positions and they're absolutely clueless about what to do once they're in them? It is outrageous. It is outrageous that the political principal, as far as this issue is concerned, Angie Motshekga as minister, has said absolutely nothing about this, but she remains in her job. We told you earlier this year about hot mics and people caught speaking off mic, they think. Kanti, meantime, we can hear every word. Have a listen to US President Donald Trump overheard speaking to the French President Emmanuel Macron.
I think he wants to make a deal for me. You understand that? As crazy as it sounds, to set up a trial. I think he wants to make a deal. I think he wants to make a deal for me. You understand that? As crazy as it sounds. Just sit down. Sit down, everybody. I think we'll let the press come in.
Trump thought nobody could hear him. He says, listen. He wants to make a deal. He wants to make a deal with me. I'm suddenly choking. I don't know why. But that's why perhaps we thought we'd play you that clip a little today. Let's go to a break.
702. Up next.
The big interview.
EWN Traffic.
Is it my snogo-nogo? Do I need a snogo-nogo? Is that why I'm choking?
I think so, Bongani.
This Eyewitness News Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. What's going on in traffic, Amo?
Well, before my traffic report, let me just quickly withdraw from the Snogonogo reports because everybody is really on YouTube is correcting me, saying Snogonogo is not snookfish, it's money. So I withdraw.
So this once happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to Ridi Klabi. She was presenting Talk at 9 and I was doing overnight news. And they were talking football. And she says, oh, quickly have a seat. You know about football.
Yeah.
And she asked me what carpet football was. And I said the wrong thing.
So this is my moment.
This is your moment.
Yeah.
We'll look back on this day. All right, let's talk traffic.
We've got an accident in Sunny Hill. It happened right near the Baklu interchange. It's causing heavy delays from Winnie Mandela Drive. There's also that accident I spoke about earlier along the R59 north of the Meriton area. Delays from Joan Road. Delays about 20-minute hold up there. So please be on the lookout and approach with care. I'll have more traffic updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Outsurance is simply the best at ensuring you have a great claims experience. Outsurance has again lowered their number of complaints per 1,000 claims referred to the Ombudsman, and on top of it scored 9.99 on the Hello Peter Trust Index, plus a near 5-star rating on Google Reviews. So isn't it time you switch to the insurer where you always get something out? Visit outsurance.co.za today. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
Hey SA, entries for FlySafe's Business Booster are closing soon. So if you're a small local business that needs help taking off, enter at flysafe.co.za, tell us about your business, and you could be one of 6 standout enterprises to win 10 return business class flights plus brand exposure across our various platforms. Whether you're mixing, matching, crafting, or inventing, we want to help your business skyrocket. FlySafe, for the love of fly. T's and C's apply.
Did you know that the CSIR International Convention Center has over 40 years' experience in hosting international, local, and national business events? Located on a tranquil campus in Pretoria East, within the knowledge hub and science diplomacy capital, the city of Tshwane, this fit-for-purpose convention center is ideal for your association, congress, or other business events. For more information, visit csiricc.co.za. The CSIR International Convention Center, where smart minds meet.
Imagine if you could save time like you save money. A second here, a minute there. Type a little faster, walk a little faster. Or you could stop scrolling on the internet. Just think of all the hours you'll save. Now what if you could take all that time and invest it? Watch it grow. Until eventually, one day, you'd have so much time that you wouldn't know what to do with it all. But unfortunately, time doesn't work like that. It can't be stored or banked. And unlike money, you can't make it back. That's why after 50 years of investing, we've learned that time is the greatest gift of all. And the good news is, if you invest early, time gives you money. And then money gives you more time to do whatever you want to do, even if it is scrolling on the internet. Ellen Gray, long-term investing. Ellen Gray is an authorized FSP.
702.
The Big Interview
with Bongani Bingwa.
19 after 7, there were 2 bullets fired directly into her face, and she was simply a passerby. But for the e-hailing drivers, the tensions between them and taxi associations and taxi operators have reached a boiling point. From not being allowed to pick up or drop off customers freely to being fined as much as 2,500 rand by taxi operators for simply doing their jobs, e-hailing drivers are saying they're being squeezed out of the spaces in which they operate. You know, of course, what happened in Soweto. One of them shot dead, 2 vehicles set alight. Where will this end? We've invited the Secretary General of the E-Hailing Partners Council to join us, Melithemba Nguni. Appreciate your time and welcome to 702 Breakfast.
Good morning, Bongs. Good morning to the listeners, and thank you for the opportunity.
Firstly, just explain who the E-Hailing Partners Council are. Whom do you represent?
The E-Hailing Partners Council, it is a representative of the e-hailing operators, fleet owners, and the drivers within the e-hailing platforms, different platforms. It came to birth after an e-hailing elective conference that was facilitated by the Department of Transport to have e-hailing having a representative structure.
All right, so you are the recognized e-hailing representative body, yeah?
Yes, we are actually fighting to hold on to our recognition.
Oh, explain that.
Yes, actually what has happened is that because we've been pushing the interest of the operators, contrary to the interest of certain individuals within maybe the department and so forth, and we haven't been the favorite to an extent that we are being replaced by their own that will push their own agendas.
All right. All those politics notwithstanding, you are the body that stands at the moment. Give us a sense of what e-hailing drivers face every day. How tough is it?
Very tough, Bongs. Actually, the incident that happened in Soweto, it happened to caught the attention of the media and social media. But the last week, the week before that incident, we were having a meeting at JP Police Station because of 12 incidents that have happened within e-hailing, and most of drivers being killed. And the investigation is showing that most of them, if not all of them, were execution. So e-hailing, it is indeed under attack. But apart from these attacks that we are seeing now, we've had these issues where we have got these places that we call hot spots, where e-hailers are not able to pick up in those places. They are terrorized, they're extorted, they're attacked. These are places like Maponya Mall, your Tembisa Mall, Beachers, a lot of them, Bosman Station and so forth.
You talked about 12 incidents you describe as executions. Can you give me more details? Give me some of the examples of those incidents that you're referring to. What happened?
So most of them were happening from the areas of Johannesburg, Maboneng, and the drivers were killed. And the investigation was showing that these are not robberies. This is the feedback that we got from the police to say their belongings were there, the cars were there, they were being executed. These are the incidents that happened in a space of a week where 12 people were killed.
In 1 week?
Hence I'm saying in 1 week. Hence I'm saying that the incident in Maponya Mall, it happened to get the attention of the media. But this is the reality that is happening within the e-hailing, and these are untold stories about the safety of e-hailing operators.
So essentially, either you avoid specific areas or you could meet this type of end.
Indeed. You look at even Mvelase Umtogos is the one that was affected in Maponya Mall. He was still new in the industry. So a lot of these incidents happen to newer drivers because they don't really know of these hot spots. Hence, on our side, we do have our communication channels to our members where we communicate now and then to say avoid such areas like your Maponya Mall, the places that I've mentioned, but also to say avoid picking up, for an example, more than 2 men in the evening, avoid certain areas because there's a lot of crimes. Apart from the attacks that we are experiencing, there's also organized crime against e-hailers because they know they're always going to get a smartphone and probably money from the driver.
Talk to me about the attempts at extortion. What has that been like?
Look, there is a lot of criminality that is happening around this bullying or harassment that are taking place. Some of them are motivated by money. These are people that they've realized that this is very lucrative. They make a lot of money. They would confiscate a car and they would make these demands to say for that car to be released, they need 1.5, in some of the places, 2,500. And to show that they are making a lot of money. It has gone to an extent that they have got some of our police in their pockets because whenever you report these matters, nothing happens to these people. That's how lucrative it is. Some of them it's just criminality. Some of them it is just that animosity that is there from the taxi industry, because there are places where we operate smoothly with the taxi industry, but there are places that you can't at all.
Gosh, and you're saying you can't look to the law for protection?
Unfortunately not, which is why even today we are having a protest march, because as I'm telling you, these are hotspots, like we say, we call them the hotspots. They are known. And with the taxi violence inquiry in 2019-2020, it gave the Department of Transport a policing unit specialized to deal with the taxi violence crime. We've been asking for that unit to go and be deployed in these places. It has never been deployed.
Is the Department of Transport helpful at all?
Unfortunately not. In actual fact, if you look at this incident and you listen to the MEC, the department is part of the problem, because they are perpetuating a narrative to claim that e-hailing is illegal. E-hailing has been legal in the country since 2016 through the practice note. And beyond that, they have got this narrative to say e-hailers do not have operating licenses. We are at pains to say we have made applications. If you look at the backlog of thousands that they have, because I think in around early this year, February this year, they were sitting at about 19,000 applications as a backlog. In most of those, you'd see the e-hailing, where we are wanting to comply, but the department is not able to meet us halfway. And you look at those backlog, there's thousands as well from the minibus taxis, but they want to create this narrative that e-hailing is operating legal, e-hailing is not having operating licenses, while this is a problem that affects all e-hailers, all operators of the taxis across the board.
I spoke to the MEC last week, and one of the questions I asked her was whether or not this government is running scared when it comes to this issue. What's your view?
Look, I don't think they are running scared, and I can tell you, some of us engage the leadership of the taxi industry. They are communicable, they are understanding. Of course, like I said, there are places where you operate, there are places where you don't operate. A lot of issues are on the ground. What I think is happening within our government is that they are entangled in a relationship, and they are not having a will to address e-hailing issues, contrary to them being fearful of the taxi industry. We are the ones that approached the taxi industry as the e-hailers, and were able to pull them to the department to an extent of signing a memorandum of agreement in terms of operations. That's how accessible they were, and that's how communicable they were. But it was the department that dropped the ball in that process. They were facilitating that process, and they never carried it throughout. It is one of the reasons why today we are having a protest march to the Department of Transport to say these are initiatives that could have allowed coexistence, but the department has not come to the party.
All right. Appreciate your time. Melithemba Nguni there is the Secretary General of the body representing e-hailing drivers and operators. They call themselves the E-Hailing Partners Council. I'd love to hear from both drivers and owners of e-hailing vehicles what your experience has been, what you think ought to happen, and what your plea to government might be.
EWN Business.
All right, this business report is probably brought to you by GIC. Through infrastructure-related projects, GIC sets a better standard of living. GIC, changing lives. Muteo APSA expecting marginally better results this year, amidst, of course, all the slow growth in our economy and geopolitical uncertainty around the world.
Bongani APSA says profit is up 14% to 11.2 billion rand in the 6 months through to June. The bank experienced a resilient financial performance in the first half of the year, despite global economic uncertainty and slowing growth in South Africa. Its local units saw earnings go up 19%, while the rest of Africa business expanded by 13%. APSA Group's customer base has now increased by 2% to 12.8 million in the first half of the year. The lender has cut its South African GDP growth forecast to 0.9% for 2025. That's below 1%, citing a slow start to the year and U.S. trade tariffs. The group expects that GDP growth to improve to 1.4% in 2026.
We'll get you peace if you buy our weapons.
Yeah, I don't know how this works out, but Ukraine has offered to purchase around $90 billion in U.S. weapons as those peace negotiations continue at the White House. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the purchase offer, which has yet to be formalized, was part of security guarantees that were discussed at the White House. President Donald Trump met with the Ukrainian president as well as other European leaders at the White House. Trump says the negotiations can take place to obtain peace in the years-long war prompted by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The U.S. president says a meeting between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Zelensky is being planned.
Where's the rand?
17 Rand 64 against the US dollar, still in the green, at 20 Rand 58 cents against the euro, and at 23 Rand 82 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $3,337 an ounce, or platinum is also strong this morning at $1,328. Brent crude at $66.15 a barrel. More business after 8.
Change requires skill, an agile body to fill the gaps. But real change moves collaboratively, progressively, enabling, because it knows what to do and how to improve the lives of the deserving. Through infrastructure-related projects, GIC actively brings change for the better, because real change sets a standard of living, of being. GIC, changing lives.
7:32, your time check. Let's go straight to the news desk. Sfisa Zulu, farmers are tougher than some people think.
That's right, Bongani. Good morning. The South African agricultural sector has shown remarkable growth and resilience in the face of significant global trade headwinds. Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen says exports have not only remained competitive, but they have increased in the second quarter this year to $161 million. This is up by 26% from the same period last year. Nokayam Dambo has more.
Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen says it's important to look at the second quarter performance with a forward-looking perspective. He says while the results of the second quarter highlight how urgent it is to resolve the ongoing tariff talks with the US, he also says efforts to diversify export markets and increase the country's competitiveness must continue. The products leading the latest charge include a variety of fruits such as citrus, grapes, apples, pears, nuts and wine. Steenhuisen says as the country continues to negotiate with the US for a better trade deal, the focus remains on ensuring that farmers and exporters can continue to thrive in the global marketplace. Nogukanyam Dambo, Eyewitness News.
Former Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka says the content creator economy boom is not enough to solve the youth unemployment crisis. Mlambo-Ngcuka made the comments on the first day of the Y20 summit yesterday, where she was among high-level delegates meeting at the G20-linked event. Part of the agenda is addressing high youth unemployment, especially in developing countries, and South Africa's youth unemployment is at a staggering 46%, among the highest in the world. But Mlambo-Ngcuka says content creation and influencing is not the silver lining if it comes at the expense of skills development.
We can't all be influencers. We can't all be creators of content and taking pictures of ourselves. We really have to produce products that address our health, that address our construction, our infrastructure, that care for those who need for us to care for them. Let us take it a notch higher in terms of the seriousness and the impact we will make in our countries.
But Deputy Minister of Women and Youth, Steve Litseke, says it's unfair to downplay the impact of content creation.
It's also one of the economies, so let's not shy away from it. It's worth billions, if not a trillion, as a creative sector. And I think we have so much minimized what the creative sector looks like. We think creative sector ends with social media. It's not.
Rise Mzansi National Chairperson Vuyiswa Ramokgopa says government of provincial unity in Gauteng appears to be more consultative and cohesive than the National Government Coalition. The government of national unity has faced divisions, with some arguing the ANC hardly consults coalition partners. A recent study by the Mapungubwe Institute for Strategic Reflection found that despite being a minority government, the Gauteng coalition has demonstrated greater maturity than most coalitions in the country. Speaking at a media briefing yesterday, Ramokgopa said the Gauteng coalition has a culture of coordination.
We have been able to cultivate quite a consultative process, even as it pertains to, even the Premier's own program of action, the restructuring of the senior management that I mentioned earlier. We were consulted on that. So I'd say, there has been so far a culture of open consultation.
And rebel fighters have killed at least 52 civilians in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo in recent days. Attacks from the Allied Democratic Force targeted several villages in the North Kivu province in the past 2 weeks, with warnings that the toll could go up. After a relative lull in recent months, ADF rebels also killed more than 40 people in a church at the end of July in Komanda, a town in neighboring Ituri province. The ADF, an armed group originally formed by former Ugandan rebels, has killed thousands of civilians in northeastern DRC despite the deployment of Ugandan army alongside Congolese armed forces. The renewed violence comes as a separate conflict between the DRC and the Rwandan-backed M23 group continues to simmer in the east of the country despite a series of peace treaties signed in recent months. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures are at lows of 8 and 9 degrees, peaking at highs between 23 and 24.
And in the traffic, we've got bumper-to-bumper delays on the N1 North between the Besnodia Drive exit and Baklu interchange due to an earlier accident. There's also queuing traffic on the M1 South between the Baklu interchange and Marlborough Drive.
The top story this hour, the South African agricultural sector has shown remarkable growth.
Clement Maniatella.
Weekday mornings,
9 to 12.
9 to 12.
I'm glad you touched on the issue of what the court said around even black people who use this word, because as you have seen, people have been divided on whether or not the minister can even be racist just because he's black. What do you say to that?
Yeah, so I understand the debate about whether black people can be racist or not. That's not of interest to us. It's not about whether you are racist or not. The question is whether these utterances meet the definition of hate speech. The definition in terms of Section 10 of the Equality Act says is words that are abusive or threatening that seek to demean a group of people based on either social origin or race and so forth.
Tsepo Madlingozi, Commissioner at the Human Rights Commission.
Clement Maniatella.
9 to 12 on 702.
Romance is in the details, the candlelight, the atmosphere, and the food that make it all unforgettable. Your date night spot knows how to set the mood and keep it perfect. It's where conversation flows, memories are made, every visit is special. Well, now's your chance to say, I see you. Vote for them as Gauteng's greatest date night restaurant at primemediaplus.com. Voting will close on 27 August. Make it count, because Gauteng isn't just the hub of business, it's the home of excellence, and that excellence deserves your applause. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko.
Hi everyone, I'm Dean McPherson, the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure. Since I was appointed just over a year ago, we've laid a firm foundation in the department, and after tabling our 7.6 billion rand budget for growth, we're now turning plans into action. That means that we're moving government departments into our own state-owned buildings to save you billions of rands in rent. We're unlocking public land to build affordable housing, create shelters for victims of gender-based violence, and to boost food production. We're also tackling corruption head-on without fear or favor. And we're giving young South Africans real opportunities through a reformed EPWP program that focuses on skills and long-term jobs. And this is only the beginning. With your support, we're building a capable and professional department that delivers infrastructure, creates jobs, and puts public assets to work for the public good. The best is yet to come, because we're building a better country for you, brick by brick.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for plumbers, electricians, and other tradesmen. Pumlani.
Switching to OUTsurance was one of the best decisions that we've ever made. We needed business cover, over 15 million. OUTsurance came forth for us. At Kani, we sleep better at night, knowing that we always get something out of OUTsurance.
Switch to business OUTsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, brother. This is Elvis from Midrand. As for the e-hailers and the taxi industry, obviously the taxi industry, they're trying to bully people who are underprivileged and undermined, especially in the Kasi areas. This whole drama that they're doing in the malls, you will never find it in the upper class areas, your Bryanston, your Sentons.
Morning, Bongani. You know, just hearing the gentleman talk about the crime in the e-hailing sector, it just brings one to the reality of the criminal puzzle that our country is. And then you get the ANC who wants to punish Mkhunu and Gigaba for self-criticism. They don't even want to hear the truth from their own. What kind of an organization is that? They are leading us to a banana republic. The country is falling apart. There is crime in every sector of our country right now. They better get over themselves and start managing this country. Charlotte in Roodepoort. Thank you.
Charlotte in Roodepoort, part of the irony or the difficulty is that there are really very, really good guys and bad guys in this kind of conversation. I think it was Ukok Primachiku who used to say there are no angels or demons, right? Not everybody in the story has a halo, because there is a very good argument to be made that part of where the ANC finds itself is because of the decisions and choices that people like Malusi Gigaba made when they were in charge of the organization and indeed the country. So it's a little rich for them to be saying some of the things they are saying now. Given all of that, is it really surprising? Is it really surprising that we find ourselves in this mess when there doesn't seem to be any will to deal with this? And conveniently, where are most commuters being affected? They're being affected in the townships. As you correctly point out in that voice note, all of this is happening at Maponya Mall. It doesn't happen at the Mall of Africa. I'm not saying that it should, don't get me wrong. Otherwise, how am I going to get to the Mall of Africa, hey, on a Friday?
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by OUTsurance. It's your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First, 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. Today's answer comes from Mapula. Mapula, who is in Soweto. Mapula, good morning to you. Please give us today's answer.
Today's answer is Donald Trump.
That's an easy one. Mapula, tell me, have you got yourself a quote from OUTsurance?
Yeah, but I forgot to write it down. I do have it, but I forgot to write it down.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, if you at least call them for a quote, that's all we need. 1,000 Rand is coming your way. All thanks to OUTsurance and 702. Right, so Mapula's answer is Donald Trump. What is the question? Call us if you know on 011 883 0702.
EWN Sport.
So as you know, Anthony Teixeira is in the week, for the week rather, for Cindy Paluta. Anthony, people are asking me, those who are live streaming on YouTube, why I'm wearing shorts. We have a gym here.
Yeah.
And the team and I have been making promises to go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've been with the team once or twice.
Twice.
Hey, Amo.
Twice.
They've been going every day for the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the one at the beginning saying, let's.
Mm-hmm.
So this week, I'm being a child of the Lord and going to join them.
So you've gone twice. And one of them was yesterday.
No, he only went once.
Which was yesterday.
He came dressed in the fit, but he didn't make it.
Oh, yeah, you did come dressed in the fit.
But he didn't
just
show
didn't
up.
make it with them because I had a meeting afterwards.
I believe you. Other people
Bongani.
wouldn't, but I believe you.
Did you go? Did you go in the afternoon?
Can you tell me about the Proteas, please?
I can tell you about the Proteas as they are at the crease in the second ODI against Australia. What I can say is that both batters have had scares so far throughout their innings. And in fact, we've already seen the dismissal of Ryan Rickleton. He's gone for 33. Aiden Markram there on 59 as the South Africans are 93 for the loss of one in the 18th over. While switching to football, Leeds are back in the Premier League and off to a flying start with 3 points thanks to a 1-0 win over Everton. James Tarkowski to have been judged to have handled the ball inside the area with Lucas Mcheka then stepping up and tucking away the penalty. Kaizer Chiefs are back in action this evening as they look to continue their spectacular start to the Betway Premiership season. They've so far secured back-to-back wins and are yet to concede a goal across the 180 minutes, despite being just one of the 4 teams to have collected all points on offer to start the season. Assistant coach Khalil Ben Yusuf feels performances haven't been where they should be.
We are happy about the result, but we are not so happy about the performance. Still, we can do better. We get some time to work to correct our mistake, try to improve some offensive quality for our players. We give them more idea.
And in tennis, Iga Swiatek captured a first Cincinnati Open title with an ace. She overcame Jasmine Paolini 7-5, 6-4. The men's final lasted just 5 games with Carlos Alcaraz securing the win after Yannick Sinner was forced to retire with illness. The Italian was 5-love down in that first set with ice on his head during the first changeover when he made the call not to continue.
I'm super sorry to disappoint you. From yesterday I didn't feel great. I thought that I would improve during the night, but it came up worse. So I tried to come out trying to make it at least a small match, but I couldn't handle more. So I'm very sorry for all of you.
We're only 6 days out from the US Open with the reigning champ now in a race to regain fitness. Anthony Teixeira, Eyewitness News Sport.
Do you know what's hiding behind colourful packaging of unhealthy food? Big food companies target children with unhealthy packaged foods that hide high levels of sugar, salt and fat, which could lead to heart disease, diabetes and hypertension. But the truth is hidden from consumers. Front of package warning labels are a proven solution to help consumers make informed decisions. The government must act now. We have the right to know what's in our food. Demand front of package warning labels. Sign the petition on heala.org, HEALA.org by 30 September.
Corporates That Care promotes and encourages corporate leaders and all citizens really to walk the talk for a better South Africa. So catch it this Wednesday at 10 to 9. We're going to be speaking to Pesto Princess founder Kathleen Quillinan. Join us every Wednesday to highlight efforts of companies and brands dedicated to building our country. Corporates That Care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and Prime Media Outdoor. 702, let's walk the talk and together make a difference.
Payment solutions should run with your business wherever and whenever it happens. With PayFast by Network, you can accept payments online, in-store or on the move with one simple, secure system. And when business picks up, our Easy Advance funding gives you flexibility to move even faster. Always open for every hour, for every order, for you. Sign up today at payfast.io. PayFast has partnered with TymeBank to offer funding to your business.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by the new Opel Grandland. With smart tech and striking design, it's German engineering on a grand scale. Test drive one today at your nearest Opel dealer. There are delays in Eldorado Park. Amo?
Yes, Bongani, that's due to an accident. It happened near the Golden Highway. Delays coming out of Klipspruit Valley Road. About a 20-minute hold up there. Please be on the lookout and be patient if you're already finding yourself in that scene. While traveling on the Golden Highway, we still have got those roadworks taking place. One lane is closed off to traffic. As a result, traffic is heavily backed up along this route between the N1 and Union Avenue. Traveling in Meyerton, we still have got those delays along the R59 North between Joan Road and Heidelberg Road, and that's due to a major accident scene. It started early this morning and it's still there, causing that backlog. About a 30-minute hold up there. Please try to avoid or use alternative routes. I'll have more updates for you. Stay tuned.
Great entrance? Forget that. Make a grand entrance.
Grand!
Be late, make everyone wait, and be grateful they did. Peeps be rubbernecking, staring gormlessly like deer in your 50,000 intelligent LED headlights. Grand! Make a grand entrance in the new Opel Grandland, designed and made in Germany. Achtung, baby. Grand! It's even got massage seats. Uber grand! Visit opel.co.za for more.
62 million rand in total estimated Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots. They could see you rolling the millions this Tuesday. Don't miss out. Play Powerball for an estimated 21 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 41 million rand. Buy your tickets now in-store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529 hash for USSD. Panda, Pusha, Play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
There's power in a single partner who helps you build a better employee benefits strategy. Begin with retirement, the foundation of securing your employee's future. Now layer in everyday health, mental wellness, and financial balance. And finally, essential protection for life's curveballs, from illness to income loss. Now that sounds like a complete benefit strategy, one that protects your people and powers your business. Talk to us at employeebenefits@oldmutual.com about Old Mutual Corporate's integrated employee benefits solutions. Old Mutual Corporate is a division of Old Mutual Life Assurance Company SA Limited, a licensed FSP and life insurer. T's and C's apply.
As a business owner, would you rather deal with stacks of slips at the end of each day or have recons done instantly? Introducing Yoko Counter, the new all-in-one payments and point of sale system that removes the guesswork, the paperwork, and the time drain. Taking your business from chaos to control, guesswork to clarity, giving you back time to focus on what truly matters. Visit yoko.com today to find out more about the simple yet powerful out-of-the-box solution with free built-in point-of-sale software.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance, please tell me what's the question. If the answer is Donald Trump, let's go to Sam in Omandi. Sam, what's the question?
Good morning. The question is, name the president that was caught by live mics thinking that they were off, whispering to French President Macron, saying that Vladimir Putin wants to make a deal with him, and this was through the security details at the White House.
What time was it, Sam? I'm joking. 2,000 Rand is coming your way, all thanks to Outsurance and 702. Sam making sure he's got all his bases covered there. I want you to listen to French President Emmanuel Macron giving his take, speaking to the program Meet the Press in the States on that Trump hot mic moment and what a deal could potentially look like.
I think if, at the end of the day, if we have a deal which is compliant with this long-standing and robust peace, this is a great news. And your president, indeed, is very confident about the capacity he has to get this deal done, which is a good news for all of us and can break this, I would say, this daily killings, which are the responsibility of the Russian aggressor. So I think it's a great news. My point, and this is why we've worked so hard during the past few months, and we need this convergence, is to be sure that this deal is not detrimental to Ukraine and Europe. And all of us, we want a deal and we want a peace deal. But we want to make sure that this peace, and so this deal, will be something which will allow the Ukrainians to recover the country and live in peace, to be sure the day after this peace deal that they will have sufficient deterrence power not to be attacked again, and to be sure for the Europeans that they will live in peace and security.
Whether that will come or not is the question that remains to be answered. Now, Outsurance is simply the best at raising their own bar. They scored a 9.99 on the Hello Peter Trust Index, a near 5-star rating on Google reviews, and have outperformed their personal best on the number of complaints referred to the Ombudsman per 1,000 claims. Switch to the insurer that keeps raising the bar. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za today. You always get something out. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
It's that time of the year. Sneezing, itchy, watery eyes, blocked noses and coughs. It's time to live, work, play and sleep allergy-free. For trusted relief for you and your family this allergy season, ask your pharmacist for the Adcock Ingram OTC Allergy Survival Pack. With products like Allergex Non-Drowsy, Cetisid, Levogex and more, we have you covered. Remember, Adcock Ingram OTC. And visit beprepared365.co.za.
Selling your car shouldn't be a mission. We Buy Cars gets it. Life's short and time is precious. So get an offer online and sell your car within a day from wherever it suits you. It's really that simple with We Buy Cars. Shopping for your new ride? Discover thousands of vehicles online or in-store. We Buy Cars, South Africa's trusted way to buy and sell cars.
Dreaming of a tropical escape? World Leisure Holidays has your ticket to paradise with exclusive getaways to the Indian Ocean Islands. From the beaches of Mauritius and the Maldives to the charm of Madagascar, Seychelles, Zanzibar and more, your dream destination awaits. Take advantage of early bird specials and pay stay offers. Call 011-285-2500 and mention 702 for a mystery discount. Or follow us on social media or contact your nearest travel professional. Start planning your escape today. T's and C's apply.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Kabazela.
Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Belle.
This is the time we look at content, of course, that is going viral on social media. Tell me about my water just broke. Words you and I hopefully will never say.
Well, yes, or experience, I would imagine. But, you know, this is one that I always have seen in the movies, and it's always dramatic in the movies. So this video that we're talking about is a montage of different women in the situation where their waters have broke. And, you know, they're not like sitting there waiting and filming for their waters to break, but they're doing certain things, and then it just happens that their water breaks at that particular time. And, you know, I wanted to put it out to our 702 family, our lady listeners, or maybe the men if they have experience with their partners. Is it a thing here in South Africa for waters to break? Because we have very high rates of cesarean sections. So, you know, if you've gone the natural birth way, has it happened to you where your water has broken? Where were you when it broke? What were you doing? Or is it just really not that common in South Africa? Because most of the people I know in my circle who've had children, they never experienced their water breaking. And if you watch this video, it really is dramatic. I mean, you can see practically waterfalls, right? In terms of what, you know, that's what they show. That's what this video displays. If you don't believe me, follow Kabazela at John O'Loud on X. He's about to put it on now. Do you have a water breaking story? Was it dramatic? Was it in the way that you see in the movies or in Kabazela's video? Let us know.
EWN Traffic.
This EWN Traffic is brought to you by the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Amo?
Well, if you're traveling in Midrand, we've got some delays on the N1 South approaching Olifantsfontein Road, and that's due to peak time delays. Olifantsfontein Road in itself is heavily backed up towards the N1 exit, while traveling on the M1 South. Delays between the Baku interchange and Marlborough Drive due to peak time delays. I'll have more. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Explore the wonders of Mpumalanga. Discover the ultimate wildlife experience, bringing you closer to nature. Get your adrenaline rush. Endless adventure activities. Explore breathtaking 4x4 routes or hike the Blyde River Canyon, the third largest in the world. Spectacular landscapes, majestic waterfalls. Make Mpumalanga your destination of choice. Mpumalanga, embrace the unknown, live the adventure. A message brought to you by the Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks Agency. Mpumalanga, the place of the rising sun. Visit mpumalanga.com for more.
702.
702.
Feedback with Baphelile Sambo.
Good morning, Baphelile Sambo.
Good morning, Bongani.
So one of the things that people may not know is the discussions we have at length before, obviously, we go to air.
True.
And we've been trumped. We figured out what trad wife means.
Yes.
We figured out what is the other one, delulu, right? The one we can't work out is, how do I even say it? Skibbity.
can I use it in a sentence to describe this e-hailing and taxi mess?
Okay.
This whole situation is just skibidi. It's confusing, it's messy, it's disastrous, it's just skibidi.
Aha. KG, did you know that? Huh? Are you skibiding there in that corner? Unsure.
That is just what it means.
So it's a mess.
It's a mess. It can mean mess, it can mean cool. It just doesn't have a meaning. It depends in what context you're using it. But like you can say this new song is skibidi. It can be good, bad, it's catchy. It's just one of those words, you need to know when to use it. Like snogo nogo, for instance. You need to know when to use it.
So apparently Amma was wrong.
She was so wrong. And
you were cringing when she was
coming
saying
from Pretoria. I was like, no, Amo, it's money.
You didn't say anything in my ear to say, no, Amo, that's not correct.
Snookfish, huh?
Skibidi.
That was so skibidi. Okay.
So skibidi.
I got it. All
I
right.
just maybe 702 lenders are asking us, maybe these words can be added. Aish in the dictionary.
Yeah.
Yo in the dictionary.
Yeah.
Fede. And snogo nogo as well. They say, yeah, might as well, because Amu didn't know, we can just edit now.
All right. E-hailing services marching today. Any responses to that one?
Yes. Many 702 lenders are calling on the government to do something about it. As much as taxi drivers have the right to pick up people, 702 lenders are saying passengers also have the right to choose which mode of transport they want to use. Also, that we know that our big interview told us about the protest march. It will start at Mary Fitzgerald Square in Newtown, and it will end at the Department of Transport. They'll be protesting against what they describe as unfair treatment in their line of work.
Listen, I think it was absolutely shocking for us to hear 12 people were killed in a week. Obviously, we haven't verified those independently ourselves, but it was just even as a statistic being thrown out there, really shocking to hear.
This is EWN.
A National Lottery Commission board member is accused of stealing money meant to uplift vulnerable groups, and Kgalema Motlanthe says he didn't snub the National Convention on purpose. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. A multi-million rand grant meant to empower women, youth and disabled people from rural villages has ended up in the pockets of a board member from the National Lottery Commission. Advocate William Elias Huma has been ordered by the Special Tribunal to pay back more than 21 million rand he unlawfully received from the state. The Special Tribunal presides over cases brought to it by the Special Investigating Unit. Tabiso Koba reports.
Between August and September 2020, the National Lotteries Commission awarded 2 grants amounting to 21 million rand to the Samaritan Initiative NPO and Riachile NPC. The directors of these 2 companies comprised of the wife, nieces and nephews of Advocate William Huma, who was a board member of the commission at the time. SIU spokesperson Kaiser Khanyago says the money was used to purchase a chicken farm.
The SIU investigation found that the funds were misappropriated by Silverlight Trading, which Huma took over control as a sole director. The farm is now in a dilapidated state and has never benefited the community of Marikana.
The SIU has also been granted a preservation order of 10 million rand, which is the proceeds of sale from Huma's Waterkloof property. Tabiso Koba, Eyewitness News.
Former President Kgalema Motlanthe has moved to clarify his absence at the National Convention, saying it's untrue his foundation withdrew from the process. His foundation says it was never part of the preparation team like the other legacy foundations who pulled out because of disagreements with the presidency over processes and budget. In a statement, Motlanthe says he was invited as a guest in his personal capacity, but he already had prior commitments related to the work of his foundation. Lindsay Dentlinker has more.
The Thabo Mbeki, F.W. de Klerk and Desmond and Leah Tutu foundations were among those that withdrew from the National Convention after clashing with NEDLAC over a date for the convention they believed was premature. But former President Kgalema Motlanthe says unlike these legacy foundations, his was not involved in any preparatory work and therefore cannot be viewed to have snubbed the first gathering in the dialogue process. Motlanthe says despite not being able to attend the 2-day event, he sent organisers a letter of support. Motlanthe says he hopes the national dialogue is one of equals because each civil society organisation plays its own role and they all hope to contribute to society in unique ways. Writing in his weekly newsletter yesterday, President Cyril Ramaphosa says a steering committee representative of civil society groups will be set up by the end of the month to lead the rest of the dialogue process in conjunction with the Eminent Persons Group he announced in July. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
The man who raped and killed 6-year-old Amantle Samane is expected to be sentenced today in the Johannesburg High Court. Petr Simrao was arrested last year after the little girl's body was found in his shack in Orlando, Soweto. He's pleaded guilty to charges including kidnapping and contravening the South African Immigration Act. Ntokozo Khumalo reports.
A little over a year ago, Amantle Samane was reported missing by her mother, who could not find her outside where she had been playing. The child was later discovered in Petr Simrao's after an eyewitness led a search party to his place. Simrao fled the scene following the discovery of the little girl's body, but was eventually tracked down and arrested. The incident had sparked widespread outrage, with community members calling for justice. Ntokozo Khumalo, Eyewitness News.
And Rise Mzansi leader Songezo Zibi says Defence Minister Entjie Motshekga should be dismissed for defending what he calls the rogue SANDF chief Rudzani Maponya. Maponya has come under fire over his trip to Iran, where he reportedly urged stronger military ties between South Africa and the Middle Eastern nation. President Cyril Ramaphosa believes Maponya's remarks risk straining South Africa's diplomatic relations with the US. Rise Mzansi raised the matter during a media briefing in Johannesburg yesterday. Alfara Mushwana was there.
While President Cyril Ramaphosa is displeased with SANDF Chief Rudzani Maponya's remarks, Defence Minister Entjie Motshekga has come to his defence. It's understood Motshekga authorised Maponya's visit to Iran last year before South Africa landed up in the bad books of the United States. Rise Mzansi leader Songezo Zibi maintains that regardless of the context, Maponya shouldn't have made statements that could undermine the union building its efforts to stabilize ties with the White House.
That Entjie is spineless and does not want to deal with the issue. Does not mean she is correct. She herself is wrong. And if I was a president, I would also dismiss her as defense minister due to unsuitability and having zero strategic awareness.
Zibi says the president shouldn't drag his feet in holding the SANDF chief accountable. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News, Johannesburg.
Gold is trading at $3,338.35 an ounce. The rand is at 17.65 to the dollar, 23.83 to the pound, 20.57 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $66.20 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M1 South between the Baklu Interchange and Marlborough Drive. There's also queuing traffic along the N3 North between the Yelands Interchange and Modderfontein Road.
A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 23 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. A multi-million rand grant meant to empower women, youth and disabled people from rural villages has ended up in the pockets of a board member from the National Lottery Commission.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Show up for the finalist who showed up for you. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702 and Yoko. Vote for your favorite local business now on primediaplus.com.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
8 minutes after 8 o'clock, you're listening to 702 Breakfast. Welcome if you've just joined us wherever you are listening to us from. If you're part of those who are watching us on YouTube, I want to respond to some of the messages because, of course, live streaming, it means you can see exactly what's going on in the studio. Some questions being raised there. So we have a number of clips that we will play during the show, and we put them together obviously before the show starts, and we number them. So you might see me on the YouTube page showing KG, our technical producer, fingers, and that means I want him to play clip number 2 or clip number 3 or clip number 4 next, or I might say 6 or 7 as the case might be. The one time we got into trouble, do you remember, Muteo? We had more than 10 clips. So now I didn't know how to signal number 11. Do you remember that confusion? I was going like this and he's like...
He's like, what are you doing?
I put 2 fingers up and he's like, is that 2? Is that... Yay, it became quite a thing because we'd never got to 11 clips that day. So if you are listening to us and watching us on YouTube, always a pleasure to have you on board. People are so sharp. Somebody noticed that I was wearing Jacob's socks this morning, or socks branded Jacob's coffee. That's how much. So be careful what you're scrolling on your phone, Mateo. The cameras can see. The cameras can see.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
10 after 8. Now, if you go to X and you follow Kabazela at Jono Loud, just Jono Loud, you'll be able to watch his viral videos. And the one that he's talking about this morning is the story of people's water breaking. And just like in the movies, it really is dramatic. Have you seen the video, Amo?
I haven't seen the video, no.
Oh, I thought you'd gone to go look at it when I made reference to it a little earlier on. But it looks so dramatic. It's practically waterfalls. Have you had a similar experience, Amo?
No. But I remember when I was pregnant with my son, I had a friend who was also pregnant. She told me a story about when she had her first child and her water broke and she started screaming because, she thought she was already in labor. She was already in pains. And the mother said, honey, please calm down. Stop being dramatic. Your water just broke. This means that now the labor process is going to start and not that immediately you're in pain. And so, yeah, it's different for every woman, though.
Yeah, she was imagining it for the first time.
Because you've seen it so much on the movies.
On TV, yeah, in the movies it's always so dramatic. But the video that Kabazela showed really is that dramatic. It's real life stories. And what you see is, I can see why I might think I'm in pain too. I was in pain just watching it.
Hi, this is Tracy. I had a natural birth. I left it till the last minute to leave home. And there was definitely an audible pop before my waters broke all over the bathroom floor. It really is quite a lot of liquid. You don't actually realize how much you're carrying. And that meant I then had to change my clothes before we could leave for the hospital. And I had my baby 15 minutes after arriving. So very closely timed.
Oh my word, Bongani. Yes, it happens to us. My water broke a couple of hours into labor. So I was getting ready to have the baby. I was at the facility with the midwives. I did a water birth. So it was quite a process. And then my water broke at some point. But the weird and uncomfortable thing was my water broke. I vomited all at the same time. I was in excruciating pain. So yeah, it's quite the experience, hey? But it does happen. Thank you, Courtney, 4 ways.
Thank you, Courtney, in 4 ways. So I've shown Amo the video, which of course you can watch on X on Jono Loud. And Amo, your reaction now, was I being overly dramatic?
No, not at all.
It's
Not
waterfalls,
at all.
right?
It is waterfalls.
And as you say, it's a different experience for each woman. I think for most of us guys, hey, we're just ready to do whatever we're being told in that moment. Hey, Muteo?
Stay out the way, just listen, do the right thing.
Be there but not be there.
Yeah, very
not
easy
be there
to
but
become
be
the
there.
enemy on that day. So
be there but don't be there. Don't not be there but be there.
Stay close.
Figure
I'll
out
be
exactly.
far away.
It's finder.
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Hi, Bongani and team. My name is Blolani from Sebokeng. I'm glad the word skibidi finally made it. In a pub called Booty's Inn, Zone 3 Sebokeng, my friends and I could not understand the song by Shaka Khan, Telephone. There's a part where she says, "Stay with me, baby," something like that. And everybody sang that song as skibidi baby or something like that. Wow. Finally, skibidi means something. Thank you, guys. Great show.
Hey, Bongs. It was so skibidi hearing you butchering the name Dipepeneneng. That means they are all out there for people to see. Dipepeneneng. Out there for people to see. Sharp. Skibidi.
Morning, Bongani and crew. So, is correct. In Johannesburg, Snogo is snookfish. Remember, these things are colloquial. So, in Joburg, it's correct. Snogo is snookfish. In Pretoria, it might be something else. All right. Bye.
Hi, Bongani and team. So yes, Nogo is snookfish, right? You might call it anything else, but money has too many words. You know, Zaga, Machankura, Madibas, you know. So money has too many words, but Nogo, I think we can safely say it's snookfish. So yeah, it's KG, but not Start the Clock.
Oh gosh.
Goodness,
if
thank
Justified
you.
was a person.
I feel like a human being now. I feel normal because, yeah, man, I can walk around the building with confidence that there's people who agree with me.
Muteo, you're shaking your head furiously.
I don't agree, and I suspect that those listeners are from Soweto, where Amun's from. Only there can you use Nogo as snookfish. I guarantee you.
But does it matter though where you are?
Nogo is cash. Kinyogo. Zaga.
It's got many names, but it's Nogo
I'm
snookfish.
staying out of this skibidi. I really did have a skibidi moment with that name, and of course I did apologize, and it's always awful to speak to somebody and you butcher their name. It was one of those. It was unfortunate. I'll do better next time.
Bongani, good morning. You're speaking about the new words in the dictionary. I wonder if there's a few more we could get added. A citrion, I think that's an awesome one, a citrion. And then what about a determine, education, and a record? Yes, I'm sure a record would be a fee.
Is it me? Is it that I throw too much shade, and so every now and again 702 Landers will throw it right back at me, right? Touche.
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
Good morning, Bongani. Hey, I'm so surprised that Gigaba is the one who's turning against the ANC. Tend to look like a messiah. The same guy who sold the state asset to the Guptas. The same guy who sold this country to the Guptas in exchange for Kari, Joan Pretoria.
Joe in Pretoria, in fact, I want you to listen to Gigaba's lengthy explanations. He was speaking to the Times Live about how he thinks the ANC has gone off the path.
They began encroaching this anti-intellectual culture. No, we a president who reads poems. We don't want a president who makes quotes. We don't want this. We don't want that. And that had a negative impact and effect on the ANC, on its character, on its outlook, because this is an organization which claims moral authority from its ability to present ideas that are incontestable.
But wasn't he part and parcel of the ANC that got rid of the president who read poetry, who had lots of quotes? It's an interesting world we live in. President Donald Trump yesterday sitting down with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in the Oval Office to talk about possible ways to end the war in Ukraine. And I almost felt sad. I don't know if you've seen the visuals, but I almost felt sad for Zelensky because he's been particular about his dress code throughout this war period. And you remember, of course, Trump administration officials giving him a dressing down the last time he was in the Oval Office for what he chose to wear. So he did show up yesterday in a black suit, not quite the traditional black suit you might expect, not the type Macron wears, but nonetheless, he was there. And to really drive the point home of needing Trump on board, he was at pains to thank the U.S. First Lady. Have a listen.
We've had a lot of good discussions, a lot of good talks, and I think progress is being made, very, very substantial progress in many ways. We had a good meeting, as you know, just a short while ago with the president of Russia. And I think there's a possibility that something could come out of it. And today's meeting is very important. We have, I guess, the seven very powerful leaders from Europe. And we're going to be meeting with them right after this meeting. And thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. If I can, first of all, thank you for invitation and thank you very much for your efforts, personal efforts to stop killings and stop this war. Thank you. And using this opportunity, many thanks to your wife, First Lady of the United States. She sent a letter to Putin about our children, abducted children, and my wife, First Lady of Ukraine. She gave the letter. It's not to you, to your wife.
I want.
Yeah. So we're saying this sensitive topic. Yeah. Yes, please. And thanks to our partners and that you supported this format. That after our meeting we can have leaders who are around us, UK, France, Germany, Italy, Finland, EU, NATO. I mean, all partners around Ukraine supporting us. Thanks them and thank you very much for invitation.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, Mr. President. No, thank you, Mr. President. No, thank you, Mr. President. In fact, thank you, First Lady.
You're with Bongani Bingwa on 702.
Taking your calls on 011 883 0702.
Yesterday, we spoke about the driver's license card issue. And Dalom in Davidson, you've got a good experience to share. Good morning.
Good morning, Bongani and the team.
Good morning, Dalom.
How are you, sir?
We are fine. Team, I want the rest of the team to greet you, Dalom, because you said Bongani and the team.
Hello,
Here we
Dalom.
go.
Good morning, Dalom.
Good morning, everyone.
You see, we're excited to hear from you. Talk to us.
By the way, before I go on, call me Dalom, the most delicious e-hailing driver on the East End. All right? Now, Bongani, good news is that finally, I decided to go on Natis this morning. And then I just received a message that your card license is ready for collection in Boxback. Now, my problem is this, Bongani. On the 17th of July, I went there to go and check on my license. That I applied for in February. That was expiring in May. Look, 3 months before I applied, before this thing expired.
Yeah.
Now, it took me 6 months. Now, in July, on the 17th, they told me that I must come at the end of August. Now, I decided to do temporary license on the very same day. Then the following week, according to Natis, on the 23rd, the card was ready for collection.
Okay.
So I'm happy, but I'm sad on the other side.
That you didn't need to have a temporary license because
Exactly.
it was already available.
I was there on the 17th of July. I was told I must come at the end of August.
Yeah. But at least you've got one, Dalom.
I've got one. I'm happy. Well, I want to advise everyone, just log into Natis. Your licenses are there.
All right. Dalom says, what printing machine? Most people who have applied could take a chance and see if their license card has been indeed printed. Appreciate that call there. So perhaps just go through the system and make sure that you've got the latest information. Obviously, not everybody will get the same joy as Dalom, but Dalom says you never know, and it is very likely, of course, that the card was printed quite a while ago. He's only just getting the notification now, and so it may be that the delays that have been reported will only affect people trying to renew their licenses at this stage. So if applied earlier in the year, who knows? You might actually have your card.
EWN Traffic.
23 after 8, this Eyewitness News Traffic brought to you by Outsurance in partnership with 702. I'm aware of the hotspots now.
In Tembisa, Bongani, along the R21 south towards the R25. This is due to roadworks taking place along this route. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling in Dunkeld West, we've got an accident reported along Jan Smuts Avenue. It is right near Smith Street. It's causing heavy traffic volumes. Please be on the lookout there and try to avoid the area as much as you can. We still have got delays on the R59 north. This is in the Meriton area due to an earlier accident right near Heidelberg Road, causing heavy traffic volumes. I'll have more updates for you. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Clever late excuse number 74. The elevator was broken, so you had to take the stairs all the way up. Fortunately, with the Outsurance pointsman on the roads, you no longer have to come up with creative excuses for being late. The Outsurance pointsman easing traffic congestion to get you there quickly and safely since 2005. Outsurance really means it when they say you always get something out. In proud partnership with 702, show them some love online using #PointsmanLove. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
702, The World View
with Adam Gilchrist.
Let's catch up with news from elsewhere in the world. The big story internationally, of course, Adam, has to be trying to end the war in Ukraine.
The big day that Donald Trump called it. And were you glued to it? It was not quite as toe-curlingly, fascinatingly awful as 6 months ago, was it? But it's still fascinating to see the dynamic and the body language. And as you've already pointed out, there was a lot of thanking. So this was a charm offensive by Volodymyr Zelensky. And by that, we mean he was sycophantic. He was absolutely, as I think most of the leaders who were in the White House last night were all basically cozying up to Donald Trump. You're the best. You're great. Make this happen, please. But nothing actually did happen, apart from we're told that Donald Trump has spoken to Vladimir Putin after he met all the European leaders, after he met Volodymyr Zelensky, and that therefore a meeting between Trump, Putin, and Zelensky could yet happen, except as I think it was Emmanuel Macron, or possibly it was the German Chancellor, Friedrich Merz, who absolutely made it clear that they thought a ceasefire had to happen before you could get into proper talks with the Russian president. Overall, it wasn't quite the deal-making, deal-breaking kind of thing that we thought it would be, but there was a lot of weight in that room, wasn't there? And a lot of thanking, so we'll see where it leads.
Yes, indeed. Now let's talk about myths, deaths from fake booze. This is an increasing problem even in our part of the world.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I was doing a tot-up of the number of people killed by counterfeit alcohol. So when methanol is used instead of ethanol, sometimes just because it's cheaper, sometimes because it's easier to produce, and a mistake is made because you have to get your science right, don't you? And so methanol can come, sometimes frankly it's deliberate as well. So methanol can be used instead, and methanol is an extremely dangerous toxin. And I was totting up the number of deaths around the world. I had to stop, it was ridiculous. 130 people died in Turkey from fake booze, essentially, in just 2 months this year. 65 people died in one incident in India last year. There have been a number of tourist incidents, which is partly why this is being pushed so hard, is that you don't really want to travel around the world only to be killed or fall blind in another country. So the UK Foreign Office, amongst many other organizations and other governments, are absolutely pushing the travel advice. Know what you're doing, know what you're drinking, as Misha Emmons, who lost her sister Chesney to fake gin in Indonesia, puts it, it's like Russian roulette if you don't know what you're sipping.
We've been talking about these words all morning, Adam. It's all a bit of a skibbity, isn't it?
It's a bit skibbity, unless you're Delulu, of course. Yeah, the slang terms that have gone into the Cambridge Dictionary, 6,000 new/newish/ kind of corrupted words. Skibbity is one of those words. It's kind of fun to say, skibbity, but it kind of means nothing. It's cool, it's sick, it's gibberish, it's bad, it's who's bad? Just throw it in. Delulu is, I think it's thanks to the Australian Prime Minister, who referred to a bunch of politicians as their Delulu with no Salulu, which I think kind of works. It's a bit Australian. Inspo for inspiration is another Australianism. Broligarchy, when you put bro and oligarchy together for a bunch of rich and powerful blokes. I think the mouse jiggler is quite a good one. So anyone who works from home is a mouse jiggler. But 6,000 new words. Most adult males use only 2,000 to 3,000 words in a lifetime. So how we're going to get all these new words into our everyday language is just skibbity.
I think some people will call the entire thing a little sus, Adam, but we'll leave it there for this morning's Worldview.
Cheers.
EWN Business.
He's never Delulu, but has a lot of Solulus in business. Mateo Kharipe, rand manipulation, that case going straight to the Constitutional Court. I remember having an interview with Sim Chabalala about this on this very show.
Yeah, and he was adamant that Standard Bank was not involved. But yeah, the Competition Commission is set to defend its rand manipulation case at the Constitutional Court. The competition regulator wants to prosecute international and local banks accused of manipulating the rand. According to Business Day, the commission argued that the bank's manipulation of the rand echoed across South Africa's economy, distorting international trade and financial transactions, as well as affecting the pricing of goods, services, and financial assets for ordinary South Africans. Now, the matter dates back to June 2020, when the commission had referred a case to the Competition Tribunal against 28 local and foreign banks alleged to have colluded with one another to fix the foreign exchange rate in respect of the US dollar and the rand pair. Now, this was between September 2007 and at least September 2013. Now, Barclays Capital and ABSA have applied for leniency, while Citibank and Standard Chartered Bank have reached the settlement on this particular case. But banks like Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Standard Bank, South Africa, Nomura International, Nedbank, and First Rand Bank Limited still face a case against the commission. Now, the commission, which issued the findings of its investigation in 2015, has recommended fines of up to 10% of each bank's South African revenue on grounds that the lenders conduct upended both local markets and everyday prices for South Africans.
Talking about banks, ABSA expecting marginally better results this year.
Yeah, and this is despite the geopolitical uncertainty and the slow growth. The ABSA says profit is up 14% to 11.2 billion rand. The bank experienced a resilient financial performance in the first half of 2025. Its local unit saw earnings rise by 19%, while the rest of Africa business expanded by 13%. ABSA Group's customer base has also increased by 2% to 12.8 users.
Where's the rand?
Rand is still strong this morning at 17 Rand 65 against the US dollar, holding on to very marginal gains at 20 Rand 57 cents against the euro and at 23 Rand 83 cents against the British pound. Price of gold at $3,337 an ounce, while platinum is at $1,326. Brent crude at $66.25 a barrel. More business from Stephen Grotes later this afternoon.
Straight to the news desk we go. Swiso Zulu, what you got at this hour?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. The South African agricultural sector has shown remarkable growth and resilience in the first of a significant global trade headwinds. Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen says exports have not only remained competitive, but they have increased in the second quarter this year to $161 million. This is up by 26% from the same period last year. Nogukayam Dambo reports.
Agriculture Minister John Steenhuisen says it's important to look at the second quarter performance with a forward-looking perspective. He says while the results of the second quarter highlight how urgent it is to resolve the ongoing tariff talks with the US, he also says efforts to diversify export markets and increase the country's competitiveness must continue. The products leading the latest charge include a variety of fruits such as citrus, grapes, apples, pears, nuts and wine. Steenhuisen says as the country continues to negotiate with the US for a better trade deal, the focus remains on ensuring that farmers and exporters can continue to thrive in the global marketplace. Nogukayam Dambo, Eyewitness News.
Former Deputy President Phumzile Mlambo-Ngcuka says the content creator economy boom is not enough to solve the youth unemployment crisis. Mlambo-Ngcuka made the comments on the first day of the Y20 summit yesterday, where she was among high-level delegates meeting at the G20 linked event. Part of the agenda is addressing high youth unemployment, especially in developing countries, and South Africa's youth unemployment is at a staggering 46%, among the highest in the world. But Mlambo-Ngcuka says content creation and influencing is not the silver lining if it comes at the expense of skill development.
We can't all be influencers. We can't all be creators of content and taking pictures of ourselves. We really have to produce products that address our health, that address our construction, our infrastructure, that care for those who need for us to care for them. Let us take it a notch higher in terms of the seriousness and the impact we will make in our countries.
But Deputy Minister of Women and Youth Steve Litseke says it's unfair to downplay the impact of content creation.
It's also one of the economies, so let's not shy away from it. It's worth billions, if not a trillion, as a creative sector. And I think we have so much minimized what the creative sector looks like. We think creative sector ends with social media. It's not.
And the 28-year-old son of Norway's crown princess has been charged with raping 4 women and several acts of violence, and he risks up to 10 years in prison. Marius Borg Hoiby was born from a relationship before Crown Princess Met Marit married Crown Prince Haakon. He has been under investigation since his arrest in August last year on suspicion of assaulting a girlfriend. He is accused of raping 4 women while they were sleeping. In at least 3 of the cases, he met the women the same day and had consensual sex before the alleged rapes. The 4 rapes allegedly took place in 2018, 2023 and last year, and the last one after the police investigation began. A partly cloudy day in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 23 and 24 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N12 as well as the R24 West between Edenville Road and the Galulis interchange. While travelling on the N1 North, do expect some delays between Malibongo Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive.
The top story this hour, the South African agricultural sector has shown remarkable growth.
The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
Johannesburg has a deep well of talent. Whether you're talking business, you're talking politics and so on, and yet it is falling apart. If Helen is a viable candidate for mayor of Joburg, they themselves have capitulated. South Africa's problem and its decline is that people don't want to step forward and save the country from disaster.
Songezo Zibi, we have a leadership crisis in South Africa. We need younger people to step up, and that's in light of the argument that he makes there around Helen Zille.
The Midday Report
with Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
62 million rand in total estimated Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots could see you rolling in the millions this Tuesday. Don't miss out. Play Powerball for an estimated 21 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 41 million rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529 hash for USSD. Panda, Pusha, Play. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. Ituba is the proud operator of the National Lottery.
Ever driven 6 hours to get to a place that should have taken 1? Skip the detour with Sem Air, a proudly South African full-service airline, connecting you to 16 top destinations, whether it be for business or a break. Baggage included. Onboard snacks, always. Comfort and service, count on it. Because when your time matters, your airline should too. Book now at semair.co.za. Sem Air, more from your airline.
Your workday calls for more performance, more doing the impossible, more challenge accepted. Your weekends demand more excitement, more detours, more limitless living. And the new GWM P300 LS is where it all comes together. Bring it on in the new P300 LS with a 2.4 turbo diesel and 12.3-inch touchscreen from only $5,999 per month. Visit gwm.co.za for T's and C's and to book a test drive. GWM, go with more. Brought to you by GWM Finance, a division of Westbank and authorized financial services and registered credit provider.
Dear Journal, day 4602 of trying to be an adult. My doctor asked me how my quality of rest is at the moment. I told him I have 2 problems. I struggle to sleep at night, but I also struggle to awake at day.
Aggressively realizing your age? Get covered at pineapple.co.za. It's simple and like 19 Rand a day, so it's 100% the insurance for you. Underwritten by Old Mutual Alternative Risk Transfer Insurer Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. Premiums are risk profile dependent.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
I'm from Johannesburg. Look, Dipepeneneng is not sure about the figures. I think he just called the figures thinking that you're not getting it, but now he kept on asking about the figures and he realized that no, he made a mistake. He's not definitely sure. He must make sure. Thanks.
Good morning, Bongani. Wonderful show like always. This foot and mouth, definitely on the ground we feel like it's a way of increasing the beef price, because it looks like every now and then there's there's a foot and mouth outbreak, the price goes up. But anyway, let's hope the guy is on top of it with his department, and sooner or later it will be finished. By the way, did you know what Dipepeneneng means? Dipepeneneng means it's in the open. It means your secrets are in the open. Dipepeneneng. Diabonahala. Wonderful show like always. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye.
I love it when 702 landers finally have one up on me, right? Because here I am this morning thinking I know it all. And every now and again, I'm going to get it wrong. And that happens. And I will humbly take it. Earlier, we spoke to the Deputy Director General for Agricultural Production, Biosecurity and Natural Resources Management. It's a long title, isn't it? Mr. Dipepeneneng Serage, who explained the issue of foot and mouth disease. Some experts have been saying it's totally out of control, that it's going to affect supply chains and that they're creaking. Many farmers saying vaccines are in short supply. And he said we've had about 200 outbreaks in the last 3 years. So I wanted to know how typical that was as a way to confirm whether or not it was just worrying or indeed out of control, as some experts say. There is a concern around our biosecurity systems, right? Water, sanitation, the contamination of various farms when it comes to this. One of the points he made, of course, was that even contaminated meat products can still be consumed, particularly those that aren't part of the main meat of the carcass. And so, for example, the head, the offal or the tripe, he says those are safe to consume. So that was the concern there around foot and mouth disease.
Hey, Bongani, now this thing of YouTube is on expose. Are you wearing Jacob's socks? You're wearing coffee socks. Why am I seeing things? I've never thought there are socks of a brand of a coffee. YouTube. Somebody matching chang.
EWN Sport.
I'm proud of my Jacob's coffee socks. Hey?
I'm wanting to come around to have a look.
To have a look at my Jacob's coffee socks. Yeah, I like wearing creative socks. So I'm proud of them. That's why I've put them on this morning, because we're going to the gym afterwards, or Amo will never let me forget it. In fact, if I don't go, I think the first thing she'll say on air tomorrow is why I did not go. But you're here for the sport. Let's start with that ODI. How are the Proteas doing in Australia? They're in Cairns, aren't they?
They are indeed. And in the last hour, the Proteas have lost a second wicket. Aiden Markram back in the pavilion for 82. Right now, they are 168 for the loss of 2 in the 32nd over. Temba Bavuma on 29 alongside Matthew Bretsky, who's there on 22. Switching to football, where the Betway Premiership will continue this evening. Kaizer Chiefs, who have won both their games so far this term, host Richards Bay, who are one of 3 sides to have not picked up a single point so far. Here's their assistant coach Yusuf.
Our target in this season, just first we keep our player mentally always ready for the next game. Always we try to take each game like a cup game. Second, we try a training session always to put our players under pressure for time. Always how we can deal against a team when they play against a team where he use low block and the transition.
Kickoff at the FNB Stadium is 7:30 this evening, with the 4 remaining games at the same time. Gavin Hunt's Durban City playing Golden Arrows. Siwelele battle Polokwane City. Chippa United up against TS Galaxy, and promoted side Orbit College face Sekhukhune United. In rugby, the Springboks will be announcing their squad for the second Rugby Championship clash against the Wallabies. Head coach Rassie Rasmus announced that Jesse Kriel will captain the side for the Cape Town Test.
Probably because, he's a guy that studies the opposition a lot, studies rugby a lot. I think he's 31, turning 31. But he's in tip-top shape. He can back up his words with actions on the field. I think by far one of the most professional players that I've been involved with as a player. But then he's also a guy that felt how it felt last weekend for the whole 80-minute to lose against Australia. So he'll be really up for this game.
And in athletics, Olympic silver medalist Keishan Thompson has withdrawn from tomorrow's 100 meters at the Lausanne Diamond League, citing shin discomfort. The Jamaican also confirmed that he won't feature at the season-ending meetings in Brussels or Zurich, with his next appearance expected to be at next month's World Athletics Championships. Thompson has been red hot, coming off a 100-meter victory at the Polish event this past Saturday. While the Lausanne meet starts today with the men's pole vault, all South African athletes will feature on day 2. Anthony Teixeira, Eyewitness News Sport.
We love rating things, our phones, our cars, but our health? Your health lets you do what you love with the people you love. So who are you staying healthy for, and how can you improve your health? Choose Dis-Chem Life, the life cover that helps you live a healthier, more rewarding, longer life with regular health checks. Visit dischemlife.co.za now. Dis-Chem Life. Choose a better partner for life. Dis-Chem Life is an authorized FSP 50594, underwritten by Guardrisk Life, a licensed life insurer, FSP 76. T's and C's apply.
At the heart of global conversations shaping the future, Africa's voice matters more than ever. As Africa's largest bank by assets and lead sponsor of the B20 Summit, Standard Bank Group is proud to spotlight the continent's growth, partnerships and potential on the world stage. Through informed dialogue and powerful partnerships, Standard Bank is driving sustainable growth where it matters most. Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider.
Ah, Shane, do you have a sore throat? The Andalex range of lozenges offers 2 options. At the first signs of an irritated, scratchy throat, use Andalex lozenges for dual-action, soothing relief. But for a painful, inflamed throat, use Andalex C lozenges for triple-action, pain relief. Andalex, SA's #1 choice for a sore mouth and throat. Andalex lozenges are available at all leading pharmacies and supermarkets.
Just Andalex it.
Hey SA, entries for FlySafe's Business Booster are closing soon. So if you're a small local business that needs help taking off, enter at flysafe.co.za, tell us about your business, and you could be one of 6 standout enterprises to win 10 return business class flights plus brand exposure across our various platforms. Whether you're mixing, matching, crafting, or inventing, we want to help your business skyrocket. Fly Safe, for the love of fly. T's and C's apply.
EWN Traffic.
All right, let's check out the snogonogos in traffic.
Oh my goodness.
Wrap up this morning's traffic. Amo, what are you seeing?
Well, in Tembisa, we still have got those roadworks taking place along the R21 South, right near the R25 turnoff, and it's causing delays while traveling on the Mike 1 North bumper-to-bumper traffic between Boysons and Car Street. There's also queuing traffic on the N1 South between Samrand Avenue and Olifantsfontein Road in the Midrand area. So please be on the lookout there. I'll have your next traffic update at the top of the hour.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Corporates That Care promotes and encourages corporate leaders and really all citizens to walk the talk for a better South Africa. Catch it this Wednesday at 10 to 9. We're speaking to Pesto Princess founder Kathleen Quillinan. We do this every Wednesday to highlight the efforts of companies and brands dedicated to building our country. Corporates That Care is a Prime Media Cares initiative with 702 and Prime Media Outdoor. 702, let's walk the talk and together make a difference.
It all starts with FNB Private. With secure, easy payments for a hassle-free overseas holiday. Tap, swipe, or go digital with your FNB Visa cards. Earn rewards when using your FNB credit card or global account debit and virtual card. You can even fund your global account on the FNB app while traveling. Make the most of every moment. Unlock invaluable with FNB Private. Help changes everything. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized FSP and credit provider. TCs, earn rules and limits apply.
The unexamined life is not worth living. Socrates' timeless wisdom reminds us of the power of introspection. At Plus 94 Research, we delve deep into data, uncovering insights that drive meaningful decisions. Our scientific methodologies transform questions into clarity. Don't just operate, understand. Don't just guess, know. Plus 94 Research, the science of decision making.
Naked people spend more time outdoors. They're always walking or running or cycling up something steep. And that's because naked people get car and home insurance online in seconds, which means less time wasted on insurance admin and more time training for that triathlon they keep casually bringing up in conversation. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and get naked, people. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP.
Coming up
On the Clement Manyatela Show.
on 702.
Time now to hear what's on the Clement Manyatela show between 9 and 12. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Gishap. I'm still the same as I was at 6
Yes.
o'clock and at 7 o'clock and
Well,
at
I
8
didn't,
o'clock.
I didn't hear you earlier, so I must
I
check.
keep telling Clement, stop asking me how I am.
So
We
you-
fight with the listeners when they're all phone. How are you? How are you? How are you?
You actually said this to me last week. You're like, I'm fine, you know.
Nothing's changed in the last
Just
3
checking,
hours.
guys. Oh, we must also check on you, Bongs.
I'm
We
still
must also
fine.
check on you.
Can we agree that for the rest of the year, I'm fine?
No. For this week, at least on Mondays, okay, or Fridays. Can I ask on Mondays
No.
or Fridays? No, at least once.
What's
once.
on the show?
On the show today, that meeting.
I'll tell you if I'm fine once I hear what's on the show.
Meeting between Trump and Zelensky happened. Finally, he looked nice in a suit. He was told.
Shame.
I mean, poor. I mean, when you deal with Trump, you have to be strategic, and I think this is Zelensky trying to navigate this relationship with Donald Trump. So if it means he must come in a suit to somehow show him how important because he thinks he's so important, which he is, and I think that's exactly what he's trying to do. So we're going to look at that meeting, what's been said, because I think he was also strategic when he told Trump. He started that with, I want to thank your wife, Melania, for writing a letter to Putin. He was basically reminding Trump of the atrocities that Putin is committing in Ukraine. So we'll start with that. And then I do think, Bongani, that it's a big deal that two powerful world leaders can have a meeting and one of them calls our president and says, hey, here's how that meeting went. We are often told that we are not a key important player in these interesting geopolitical times. I hold a completely different view. I think our president has somehow managed to insert himself on that stage, and that's not taken lightly in my view. So I'm going to make that point as well and get what the listeners think. At 10 o'clock, we're going to be in conversation with the Higher Education Minister, Buti Manamela. We're going to have a broader conversation about issues in higher education. At 11 o'clock, we do our World of Work feature. Today, we're discussing how to make work environments more friendly to mothers. And then we wrap up the show at 11:30 with our health and wellness feature. Today, we're discussing what many of us struggle with. Probably you too. I'm not sure. Belly fat and how to get rid of it. Is that an issue?
Wow.
Okay, my time here is done.
Wow. Listen to a podcast between 9 and 12.
Johannesburg, the Tribute to Women show is here. Join us on the 24th of August at Marks Park in Emerentia as we honor 31 years of democracy and the incredible contributions of women in South Africa. Featuring an all-star lineup, Keisha White, Ami Faku, Thandiswa Mazwai, Loyiso, and more. Get your tickets now at webtickets.co.za. The Tribute to Women show, proudly presented by Sheer Entertainment.
Change will give you blisters. You can wear it in, or it can wear you down. It's exhausting, uncomfortable, pushy. Change is work. Change is motivating. Change is ambitious. Change is the finish line that always moves. Change is opportunity. We're ready to chase it. For over 3 decades, we have been committed to seeking out the best investment opportunities for you, wherever they may be. 91. Investing for a world of change. 91 is an authorized FSP.
It's the clarion call for the 26th Standard Bank Joy of Jazz. This year, plan your days wisely because we're pulling out all the stops. Jazz at Lincoln Center featuring the legendary Wynton Marsalis, returning to the Sandton Convention Center in triumph on the 26th, 27th and 28th of September 2025. But that's not all. Over 60 world-class acts lighting up 4 stages throughout the weekend. Actually, why choose? Treat yourself to the full experience. Grab all 3 days exclusively on Ticketmaster. Take me there!
My family's struggling with snotty noses and phlegmy coughs.
Oh no! Have you tried ACC?
ACC 600 is a convenient one-a-day effervescent tablet from 14 years of age, or now also in a no-water-needed, fruity-flavored sherbet-like granules that dissolve in your mouth. Ideal for the on-the-go adult. Ask for ACC 600 effervescent or oral powder at your nearest pharmacy to get rid of the snotties and phlegmings. And trust, if it doesn't say ACC, it's not ACC.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
I just wanna feel good every day. I wanna wear a smile upon my face. I wanna feel the joy.
I gotta tell you, there are those artists that you're always gonna fan over because first and foremost, you're a fan. It's a rare thing in this industry to fan over somebody because of their artistry, because of their music, because of their talent, but also just because they're a good human being, right? When those things intersect, the decency, the kindness, the spirit of the person, meeting their talent, meeting their brilliance, meeting their love for the audience and the passion for what they do. That's what I would say to describe Lira.
Wow.
I'm not even reading this off a script. It genuinely is something I feel from the depths of my soul.
You
Welcome.
give me good goosebumps.
It's all true.
Aw.
It's all true. I have bumped into you over many years. You've always been kind. You've always been generous. And not just because it's me. I've seen you do it with other people. You've always embraced your audience. And you're just that kind of magic.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to seeing you at this year's DSTV
Yes,
Delicious Music and Food Festival. What can we expect?
Oh, fun, inspiration, and me singing.
Yeah, right?
So it's been a long time since I sang there, and I'm looking forward to it.
How does it feel for you to be singing again? Wow. And just performing. I mean, I watch you on Instagram and every time I'm so thrilled for you.
Yeah, and it doesn't get old. It's like I'm doing it for the first time. It's amazing.
Do you feel in a way that you've been born again?
Yeah.
I know we use that in a different context.
No.
Right?
I'm born again. Yeah. Everything is so new to me. I don't take anything for granted. Everything is so brand new to me.
You're being moved by how I describe you, but goodness me, what has it felt for you to know the love and support of so many people who have been rooting for you through your health challenges and just saying, go on, girl, go on, girl, go on, girl, we're with you.
I feel that their prayers and their well wishes saw me through. Through my difficult times. I felt carried.
The nation literally willed you to be better.
Yeah. And they supported me. And I feel very grateful that I can be alive and that I can sing for people. They are the result why I'm here.
You know, you've carried us through pain. You've carried us through joy. You've carried us through our first children.
Yeah.
Our children going to school.
Yeah.
You've carried us through looking after aging parents, ailing parents, our own health issues failing. What do your songs mean to you now?
They mean so much to me. It's like I wrote the songs for this time in my life. Listening back to Something Inside So Strong, Believer, or Soul in Mind, it's like they're ministering to me now. they I don't know how I knew that
Yeah.
I would need my music.
And
now.
nobody better waste your time now.
Yes. Yes.
Nobody better waste your time now, right? We're gonna do a little fun quiz with you. Sweet or savory?
Savory.
One South African dish you can never resist.
Oh, Nstambu.
Who's on your personal playlist now? Somebody new.
Zoe Modiga.
I've been listening to somebody called Sarah Gazarek, whom I've been finding absolute. I think you'd enjoy it.
Okay.
If you weren't a musician, what would you be doing?
Be an accountant.
First artist you ever saw live?
I don't. That was a long time ago. I don't remember. But an artist. I don't know. Remember?
Can't remember. It's too long ago. You've seen
Yeah.
so many. I suppose you've sung with them so many, right? Which of your songs now gives you more goosebumps than ever when you perform?
Let There Be Light. Oh, something inside Surf Song.
Yeah.
And I cry every time I sing that song.
First thing you'll do when you step off that delicious festival stage?
I'll hug everyone. I'll hug everyone.
Listen, you are an inspiration.
Thank you.
I know this is a star-studded lineup. They've got all kinds of international acts.
Yes.
But for me, you're going to be the absolute highlight.
Thank you, Bongani.
If you don't have your tickets to this year's DSTV Delicious, I don't know what you're waiting for. It is happening on the 20th and 21st of September. DSTV Rewards members get a 30% discount on festival tickets. You will need to download the My DSTV app to become a member. Get your tickets at Ticketsmaster or visit www.deliciousfestival.com. Lira, one of the incredible stars on that lineup, is Lauren Hill, with special guests Wycliffe Jean, Zion and YG Marley, Kaya Mtetwa. You grew up with Kaya,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Mandi Sityanjisi comes back, Zoe Modiga comes back, and the fabulous Lira. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
And just because Clement said I have Mkaba, right? I'm going to take a minute off his show. He's so mean. Till tomorrow, my friends. Mazenetol.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The Competition Commission will defend its powers to prosecute banks accused of manipulating the rand. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. The Competition Commission will defend its powers to prosecute banks accused of manipulating the rand as a 4-day